news and entertainment. KDY is 102.5. KKDY, West Plains, Missouri.
And it's a football Thursday night here at McDonald's Field at Zizzer Stadium. I'm Harlan Hutchison. Over here to my right, Reed Grigsby, and we've got Nate Hudson in the studio. Big Jim Lambert is providing the video stream, which is available, of course, at ozarkradionews.com. You can check it out on Facebook, Armed Forces Radio, whatever you're looking for. You can find this football game tonight. And with Reed here to my right, Zizzers are 2-0, coming off a really tough early season test in Springfield against the Glendale Falcons last Friday night. Meanwhile, Hillcrest just got walloped by Lebanon. They're 0-2 to start the year. But Reed, West Plains is 2-0 to start things off. I don't know how much of the game you maybe got to see last week, but I think you saw a definite improvement in the football team in 1 week's time.
I watched every second of that game, and man, what...
Join us for the Crook and Chase Countdown, Sundays 2 to 6 on Hot Country. Katie.
Before we talk about this week, let's talk about last week,
and
specifically that last drive with 3 minutes left on the clock. We get the ball, showed so much composure, showed so much maturity, which we didn't see in week one because we made too many blasted mistakes. 3 minutes to go, we marched right down the field, score, leave them with 19 seconds, and then, was able to close out the game with a big interception. And that drive showed me everything I need to know about this football team. It showed me what kind of grit they have, what kind of maturity they have, and they played as a team. And hopefully we'll see more of that going forward throughout this season.
The underlying thing about that game last week, at least as it registered to me on the drive home the other night, was they held Glendale to 28 points, but holding Glendale to 28 is like holding other teams to 7 points, 14 points. I thought the defense actually had a really good game the other night overall.
Overall, the defense played phenomenally well. I mean, Carter McCracken with a huge pick six. I mean, if you were to go back to what turned the game around.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that is the play that did it. And those are the plays that you have to have against a team like Glendale because they are so efficient on offense and they're so dynamic and they can beat you with one play. They don't have to string together a drive like most teams. So I was very happy with our composure, with our game plan, with the coaching, with the execution. I mean, that was just a very fun, for a football nerd, that was a very fun game to watch.
I thought that the defense was pretty consistent throughout the course of the game. And even though they scored 28 points, Forbacher, the quarterback that plays for Glendale, who led the state in passing last year, he didn't hurt West Plains so much with the arm. It was his legs that killed us. That kid is a really good athlete.
He's a really good athlete. I went to high school with his mother. I've known his father for a long time, and he's a really good kid. Matter of fact, on Saturday went on an official visit to the University of Arkansas. So he's a big time player. He had several weapons, and so in order to come out victorious playing at Glendale, which is always a tough place to play anyway, to come out with that win is huge.
This is one of those games where you don't want to get caught peeking ahead because we've got a stretch of really tough games coming up here after Murderers Row for sure. We've got after this one Rolla, then Camdenton, then Kickapoo, and Lebanon. And out of all those, well, it's a split. We get to play, let's see, Rolla is on the road. So Camdenton, we catch them at home. We catch Lebanon at home. Away games for Kickapoo and Rolla. This next month is really going to go a long way to determining how this regular season sort of winds down and how it all turns out in the end. But it's got to be encouraging to see how much better. That's the thing about football, maybe as compared to basketball or something else. But you really tend to see the improvement from week to week in football that you don't necessarily see in basketball, because basketball, you play so many games, it's kind of subtle. It kind of builds as time goes on a lot of the time. But the football team last week, we tried to remember if we had, I don't think we had any personal fouls. We still have a few penalties, but that's playing on the road. But in the fourth quarter, when we really needed it, especially in the last 4 minutes, I thought the football team, like you said, the word I used was poise. Yes. That's something we really hadn't shown much of to this point in the year, but Glendale made the mistake of giving us a short field in that last drive, and the thing you have to do is make them pay for it. And I thought Aiden Simpson on the last drive was really good.
He really played well the whole game. And honestly, in game one, you take away a couple plays and one throw that he wishes he had back. He played well in week one, but we saw a huge improvement in Simpson's play. And in week two, showed a lot of composure. He did the right things, none of them overly fancy, but he did the right things at the right time, and that's what you want in a quarterback if you expect him to be the field general out there, kind of directing play.
The toss at midfield, Hillcrest in the white shirts, gray pants, white helmets. They've won the toss, and they will receive to start the football game. So we'll take our final break here after losses to start the year to Kickapoo and Lebanon. It's Zizzer football against Hillcrest tonight, and we'll have the kickoff coming up in 1 minute on KDY.
West Plains Zizzers football on Hot Country KDY. Tonight's game is brought to you by
Zizzer Coin Laundry, Wilbanks Tire, West Plains Lock and Key, West Plains Bank and Trust Company, USA Mortgage West Plains, Taylor Grubauge Chevrolet Buick GMC, along with Stuart Morrison Ready Mix, State Farm Insurance Justin Shelby, SMP Quality Auto Glass, TLG Peterbilt, Pepsi Mid-America. Also brought to you by Ozarks Healthcare Medical Equipment, Ozarks Healthcare, by Ozarks Hills Realty, Century 21, Monty's Outdoors, Long Electric, J&J Recovery, Hawkins Home and Lawn, Edgeler and Harper, Don's Auto Service, Kern Incorporated, Captain D's, Butler Heating and Air, by Bureau, Brown Furniture and Appliance, Bailey Chevrolet, Pontiac GMC, and by Assurance Realty.
And now West Plains Zizzers football on the official home of the Zizzers, Hot Country KDY.
Oh, welcome back to Zizzer Stadium, McDonald's Field at Zizzer Stadium. West Plains in the bright red tonight with black hats. They'll be kicking from right to left to start this football game. Springfield Hillcrest will send back one deep receiver, and that is Toby Filyaw. He stands back at his own 5. Chance Larson has got it teed up and ready to do it. Boy, was that a big field goal he kicked the other night.
Huge.
28-yard field goal in the second half against Glendale. Here's the kick. It'll come down to Filyaw at the 5. He goes to his left at the hash mark, turns it back at the 15, tries to get wide, and he turns the corner, 25-30, 35 down at the 40, 41-yard line. And a really nice return, and that'll set up Hillcrest in good shape. That was Zaquan Henderson on the return that time instead of Filyaw. It'll be first down and 10. They say he stepped out and was tackled just across the 40-yard line. First and 10 for Hillcrest.
One thing about Hillcrest is that we've seen year after year after year, they always have some really, really good athletes. And it wasn't that long ago where they had the best athletes in Springfield. So they're going to have some players to watch here, and we can't play sloppy or they may just hang around.
Some guy named Green Beckham played there.
Correct.
At one point. Here we go, first down and 10. Back to throw, pumps left, runs, turns it upfield, and he'll be tackled just across the line of scrimmage. The quarterback for Glendale is Dante Sample. Actually, he's a running back, but he lined up in the Wildcat that time, and it'll be second down and 10. Everybody wants their linebackers to, look and play like Jack Lambert, but West Plains linebackers, I think, have been one of the better parts of their football team the first two games.
Alex Judd, the sophomore, came up with that tackle right there. He's been playing well. Quincy Doolittle is a lot of fun to watch. He has a high revving motor. He seems like he's everywhere.
Here we go on second down. Let's see, Sample. They're just going to line him up in the backfield. Here's the snap to him. Option play left. Tosses late. Tries to get to the quarter. West Plains strings it out, and there won't be any gain there. Nice play on the far sideline on the defensive side, and I believe I just got my specs up at the very last minute. I couldn't see for sure who knocked him out of bounds, but it was, I thought at first it was Rylan Kenslow, but whoever made the play made a really good play. Third down and 8. And when you got a running back playing quarterback, you don't honor the pass quite as much Semple will take it and hand it off. Jet sweep, running right, turned it in. That play is over, and he threw the ball up in the air for some reason. As he was going down, it was covered by Hillcrest, but there will be a loss of 3 on the play, and it'll be 4th down for the Hornets in an inauspicious opening drive to start the game. West Plains defense didn't give him anything there.
Looked like it was big number 63, Miles Foster, that had the initial contact and the wrap-up right before the ball squirted out. So good job from the defensive lineman there.
Miles Foster has really been solid first 2 ball games, and they line up in a short formation, which on 4th down and 13, you'd think there's 0 chance they would go for it here, but we've said that before. He's going to roll out, and he rolls to the right, tries to get to the corner, and he is not going to make it, and West Plains stops. Hillcrest on downs. Jesse Hudson came across. It ain't nice to fool Mother Nature, and they didn't fool the West Plains defense that time.
And Jesse Hudson always takes the right angles. He's not the fastest person on the field, but he makes up for it just by playing smart. Had a good angle coming to the sideline, and he is fast. I'm not saying that he's not fast, but he was able to make sure that play went nowhere.
Those are one of the intangibles. Players seem to have that gift of knowing how to take an angle on a ball carrier like that. Here we go on 1st down for West Plains. 1st down and 10 from the Hillcrest 43. Simpson, toss play left, goes to Miller, gets a hole, gets a lane, turns it up 30, 25-yard line. Stutter step, hit from behind, still moving forward down to the 19-yard line. And a gain of 24 on the first play from scrimmage tonight.
Yeah, it was a good-looking play and some great blocks out there on the perimeter. And anytime Heston Miller gets out into open space, it makes the defense's eyes bug out.
And he got some space in the 4th quarter the other night. And as everything turned out, he had over 100 yards rushing in the ball game. But the big one that gave the Zizzers the win at the very end, offensive line played really well too. Alba spread set, 3 wide right, 1 left. It's 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line. Simpson, a little flag pass out to the right side. It's caught. Missed tackle at 15, the 10-yard line, the 5-yard line, and the tackle made down at the 3-yard line.
Conyers.
Lucas Conyers on the reception and run. And another big play from scrimmage. That's an 18-yard gain, and it'll be 1st and goal to go.
Conyers is a player that's had to fill in for McCracken since he's been out and hadn't been able to play offense. But, man, he has really had some nice plays on offense and plays a lot larger than what he actually is.
Really hits the hole hard when he takes a handoff. It's 1st down and goal from the 3-yard line. Clock moving, 9 minutes to play, 1st quarter. Hudson in motion to the right side. Now the eye set toss play running right with a lead blocker. That's a no-problem touchdown from 3 yards away for Heston Miller. And West Plains on top early, 6-0.
Nice play calling that time. Had one pass, and then we are testing the edge with Heston Miller, and I like that recipe for success.
You don't see many lead fullback blockers these days. Dawson Howell, though, led the way on that play, and he had to really search hard to find someone to hit. West Plains lines up in the swinging gate formation. And we'll see how this turns out. Now, Glendale ran a swinging gate last week, and they snapped the ball before their lineman moved over, so that was sort of different. Here's the extra point try. Chase Larson has it down, kicks it, and it looks very good, and it is good. We played, let's see, why is the clock moving? It's stopped now. Anyway, we have played 3 minutes and 8 seconds, and West Plains is already on top by a score 7-0. Back in 1 minute on KDY.
Having a broken magic wand just after turning the temps up is not something I anticipated. Now I am melting. I should have ordered a GeoComfort geothermal system instead of wasting money on a wand that hasn't worked in weeks. Staying comfortable wouldn't be a problem then.
Butler Heating and Air and GeoComfort can help. Call Butler Heating and Air in West Plains now for a free estimate on a GeoComfort geothermal system. Butler Heating and Air, your authorized GeoComfort geothermal dealer.
The team at Ozarks Healthcare Orthopedic and Spine is focused on your athlete's health. That's why they are on the sidelines cheering you on and ready to step in should anything happen. Dr. Edwin Roeder is proud to be the Zizzer team physician. The Ozarks Healthcare team sends best wishes to all athletes for safe play and great sportsmanship. For more information about the OZH Orthopedic and Spine, please visit www.ozarkshealthcare.com.
The Zizzers play here on today's Hot New Country KDY.
Back with Reed Grigsby, and Chase Larson kicks off for the second time tonight. That's a good sign. Here's the kick, and it is taken back at the 10-yard line, running left, 20-25. Big hit out there in the flat, and Lucas Conyers got in a pretty good lick on the ball carrier. Tackle made at around the 30. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Hillcrest Hornets, and if they have any designs on staying in this football game, they're going to have to figure out, if not score, they've got to figure out a way to hold on to the football. These 3 and outs are just going to make things worse for them.
Absolutely, and from what I've seen so far, they need to get the ball to number 10. He actually has some pretty good wheels, and he's lined up in the slot position right now, so I don't know how well they can throw the ball, but I'd say we're going to find out at some point.
Zaquan Henderson is the player Reed is talking about, and now they've put their quarterback in the game, and a hit in the backfield, and man, that ain't going anywhere. The quarterback, Ethan Weaver, handed off to Semple, and Dante Sample ended up with a loss of about 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 12 yards to go.
We were talking, about last week's game and just how tough our players from West Plains are, and I think I can agree with that.
We've got 3 down linemen. Let's see if the linebackers come on this play. 2nd down and long. Weaver back to pass, pressure up the middle, flushes him to his left, still on the move to his left, throws against his body, and it's dropped over on the sideline at the 31-yard line. Good pressure that time. We were really worried last week that West Plains would be able to put enough pressure on Glendale to at least make them uncomfortable throwing the football, and they did a well enough job. Miles Foster had a good game in that regard. Judd had a good game in that regard. And, of course, Quincy Doolittle, he's an ever-present factor. I thought the defense really did a good job against Glendale overall.
Absolutely.
Weaver at quarterback, and now he's looking at 3rd and 13. Let's see if West Plains plays it soft or comes after him. The snap, they're going to play it soft. Drop back in the zone, throw out to the far sideline, and a diving catch. It is caught, but it's only going to be a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down and about 9 yards to go as the clock continues to move down to the 7:48 mark. Read through the course of the year. You watch a team play enough, and it's pretty easy to identify what type of team personality they have, what they are good at, what they're not so good at. And now on 4th down and 9, looks like Weaver's going to stand back and maybe punt this time. Here's the kick away on the quick kick. Bounces at the 41-yard line of West Plains, downed right at the 35. Timeout on the field, 7:11 to play in the first quarter. West Plains on top, 7-0. We're back in 30 seconds on KDY.
Are you in the market for a new home in the West Plains area? Hi, my name is Michaela Jones with USA Mortgage. I have many years of real estate lending experience and want to help you find the right loan. So when you're ready to purchase that new home, find me on Facebook or in the Silver Springs Business Complex just off Bypass 63 in West Plains. We are USA Mortgage.
AAS Acquisition Company, LLC, DBA USA Mortgage, NMLS 227262. Not a commitment to lend. Additional terms and conditions apply. Headquarter 12140 Woodcrest Executive Drive, Suite 150, St. Louis, Missouri. 63141. Toll free 888-250-6522.
Ozark Conference football excitement continues now with the Zizzers on KDY.
Back to play, wide open down the left sideline. Heston Miller on a long pass from Aiden Simpson. He keeps scuffling, stays in, now slung out of bounds at the 10-yard line. So a 55-yard catch and run for West Plains on 1st down. And they went for the throat on that when Heston Miller was wide open.
Yeah, as fast as he is, he's going to be wide open sometimes, and that was a beautiful throw by Aiden Simpson that time. Good on Heston Miller for not just stepping out of bounds. I think he's wanting to stay in bounds, keep the clock running, see if he can get some extra yards after contact, and so I'm all for that.
Aiden Simpson, if you give him time to throw the football, Aiden Simpson can throw the football.
He can, yeah. He's very accurate.
And we'll line up now just inside the 10. So it's 1st and goal to go from the 9-yard line, staggered I formation to the left. They'll fake it that way, and now throws it to the left corner, too high and out of bounds. That time they were trying to get the ball to Hafer, but as he rolled right, he had 4 white shirts at his face.
Yeah, he had a lot of pressure that time and actually threw it while he was being wrapped up to being taken to the ground, so it was a little bit off the mark. But Hafer's one of those receivers that you can basically just throw it in the area and he'll go up and get a beautiful one-handed catch he made against Glendale in the first half last week.
And so we'll have a player coming out of the ball game for the Hornets. It's Gage Cisco as he limps off the field, favoring his right ankle. All right, it is 2nd down and goal to go. We'll hand it running left to Miller, gets to the 5, bounces off tackler, and they'll blow the play dead before I guess he went out of bounds at the 4. So it'll bring up 3rd down and goal from the 4-yard line. Missouri State is opening their football season tonight. Mizzou opened theirs last Saturday. Oh, no, it wasn't Saturday. It was Wednesday night. Is an odd night.
It was an odd night, yeah.
Thursday night, whatever. But Mizzou played early last week. Did you see that?
I did, and actually Missouri State opened last week because I saw Connor Laird actually got some playing time on special teams. So
here's a handoff to Miller, diving over the middle for a touchdown, a flag. Well, actually, looks like a ball mark went to the turf, and they're saying that is a fumble and covered by Hillcrest in the end zone, and that is a touchback.
Yeah, and that's one of those plays that, the refs are right there on the goal line. And that's a tough call to make. Did he fumble it while he was already in the end zone or going into the end zone? And that's kind of a bad break for West Plains right there. I'm going to assume, since all 3 referees are right there on the ball, that he coughed it up a little early.
And nobody argued that at all on the West Plains sideline. He was diving to the goal line, and I think as he was making his dive, I'm watching kind of what he's saying on the sideline. He snapped his head back. He must have took a shot right there as he got to the goal line. So a turnover, West Plains, and that will give it back to Hillcrest with 6:42 to go in the first quarter. And we're back in 30 seconds on KDY.
Patil, my husband and I purchased a home through Assurance Realty with Angie Worley as our real estate agent. We were very happy with the process from start till the end. We have been very happy with her services.
Hi, this is Angie Worley with Assurance Realty. If you have property to sell in either Missouri or Arkansas, we are the brokerage for you. Call 417-372-5420 and ask how we can help prepare your home for a smooth transaction. And remember, at Assurance Realty, it's all about you.
It's back to the field for more Zizzer football action on Hot Country KDY.
1st down and 10 for Hillcrest after West Plains fumbles the ball into the end zone covered by the Hornets. So that saved them, for the time being, from going down 2 scores. Hornets will line up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Their quarterback is Ethan Weaver. He has 5 wide. He's back to throw. He's looking left, staring left, hit, fumble the football, and West Plains should have it at the 13-yard line.
So at the end of the day, Harlan, it ended up being about a 10-yard penalty, we'll say.
Nice job by Alex Judd to cover that. And West Plains will start again this time. Looks like they've got it marked about the 13. So the Zizzers try to add on to their early lead here at 6:33. I think this is one of maybe 2 games going on tonight. There may be more. I'm not sure.
Every sport is playing at home except for golf and soccer. I believe that's right.
As you mentioned that, for the love of Zizzer Sports Night. Here's a screen pass out to the left. Fullback takes it, keeps his feet, rumbles in for a touchdown. That's the way you expect your fullback to run the ball. And
Dawson Howell.
Dawson Howell, the fullback. Matt, I'll tell you what. I am so elated to see West Plains go to an offense where it's not every play, but we utilize a fullback in the running game, and especially if you've got a fullback like Dawson Howell, who is, as Jack Buck once said, he's big enough to go to work. He is 6'3" and 240.
Oh. We just ran the swinging gate and it came up short.
Oh, man. Well, you got to do it, I guess, at some point to make him honor it. But Jesse Hudson, it looked like, was the player on the end of it, but it didn't pan out. But it's a 13-0 ball game with 6:26 to go. And now we'll take another minute timeout. You're listening to Zizzer Football on KDY.
Hi, Zizzer fans. It's the Long Brothers again.
Do you know what we love most about Zizzers football?
Cheerleaders?
Popcorn? Goodbye! Sure. We also love that it brings the community together to celebrate one thing we can all agree on, the love of our town.
So thank you, West Plains athletes, parents, fans, teachers, and coaches.
Thank you for your continued support of Long Electric.
Long Electric, 293-6884.
West Plains football continues now on Hot Country KDY.
So after the team's trade turnovers, West Plains punches it in and take a 13-zip lead. And now Larson will go back, kick the ball away. Kicking from right to left in the red outfits. Hillcrest traveling whites with gray bottoms and white hats. And the approach and the kick. Drifting toward the near sideline, it's caught and returned up the middle, and that ain't going to go very far. Yeah. That was Quincy Amari Clark on the return.
Yeah, Quincy Doolittle on the hit, shocking. Pretty good look by Quincy that time.
Now, I was saying a little while ago that as the season goes on, you determine kind of the personality of your football team and whether they're an offensive football team, defensive, what they like. Are they a passing team, a running team? And it's only been 2 weeks, and you won't really know for sure probably for another game or two. But this team, for starters, is much different than the football team from last year. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Alva spread set. Weaver from the 26. Back to throw on first down. Hit as he throws, incomplete. He was under duress, to say the least. Actually, he was under the coverage of Quincy Doolittle, who was coming through there and put a hit on him. So it'll be second down. But I think from what we've seen from West Plains so far is that I'm not going to say we're a running football team, but we're a football team that will set the pass up more often with the run than vice versa.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's fun to watch.
Yep. On second down and 10 from the 26-yard line. Alva spread set. Here comes Kawan wide to the left side, tries to find a gap, does, splits it, first down, and he gets horse-collared from behind. And I didn't see a flag come down, but he went down rather oddly and abruptly on the far side at the 50-yard line. So a really nice run from scrimmage. It's worth 26 yards, and it's a first down for Hillcrest.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier in the game. Zaquan Henderson, number 10. He is definitely a weapon, so they need to figure out how to get him the ball if they want to be successful against the West Plains Zizzers.
Zaquan Henderson, we've seen his speed a few times already tonight. 13-0 with 6:06 to play here in your first quarter from McDonald's Field at Zizzer Stadium.
They actually have Henderson in at quarterback now, so kind of I don't know if this is a planned quarterback position or if this is a wildcat formation.
We'll see. Semple is in the backfield. Roll out pass. Now he's going to throw it. He does. Down the side, underthrown and incomplete. Well, it's a thought that counts. Anyway, Zaquan Henderson, I get the impression, is probably not a full-time quarterback. And that one was underthrown down around the 25 of West Plains.
Still not a bad play call by Hillcrest because anytime number 10 gets the ball, we have to account for him. And so obviously, if we're thinking that he's getting the ball, he's going to run it, and they pull up and try to throw a quick pass down underneath coverage, and just not a very good throw.
So now it's 2nd down and 10, right from the midfield stripe. Weaver back in, hands off to Sample, and he'll get maybe 2 yards up near the 48 of West Plains. Again, Miles Foster was in the area code. McCracken was in there. You look at his hand. You look at that cast that Carter McCracken is wearing.
Yes.
And you say, how in the world did you catch that ball the other night on that interception?
Exactly. He had to catch it with one hand. I mean, that's obvious. But the fact that he was able to hold on to it and he was wide open, he could see nothing but the end zone after he caught that ball. And what a great play.
3rd down 9 from the 49 of West Plains, back to throw. Weaver flushed out, running for his life, and he is going to be hit out of bounds on the far side of the field. And that will bring up a 4th down where we might see Hillcrest go for it here, but they're going to move that back to the 50. So he stepped out of bounds at the 50-yard line. It'll be 4th down and about 11. Flag is down.
Flag is down. They're going back to the Hillcrest huddle to talk about it. I'm not sure what's going on.
Running away from the line of scrimmage, maybe a little dead ball foul. Aha. They're going to call a sideline violation on Hillcrest. Their players were too close to the line of scrimmage, which is one of those rules. It's a safety thing.
Sure, they typically give a warning before.
Yeah, maybe that's what that was.
So, So they're going to put the ball back on the 50. There is no penalty, but that is a sideline warning for sure. Next time they will throw the flag.
Well, it's 4th down now. Let's see what happens here as the Hornets come up. They're going to kick the short kick, and that's going to bounce inside the 15-yard line, down inside to the 11-yard line, and that's where West Plains will take it. 1st and 10. 5:01 to play in your first quarter from McDonald's Field at Zizzer Stadium with a score of West Plains 13, Hillcrest nothing. Back in a minute on KDY.
Need home appliances? Hi, this is Anna. Do you know that Hawkins Home & Lawn in West Plains and in Mountain Grove has something you will really like? It's called Price Match. Every day, we will match all the big box stores' prices on home appliances. That's right, no more driving to the big city or big stores. We have it all locally and at great prices and the largest selection and inventory in the area. Stop by, call us, or go online at hawkinshomeandlawn.com.
Now it's more Zizzer football excitement on Hot Country KDY.
And just as we come back, we get another timeout. Let's see if Nate's paying attention. 5:01 to go in the first, 13-0. It's West Plains on top, and we're back in a minute on KDY.
School is back in session. New routines, fall sports, helping your kids with their homework. Who has time for laundry? Zizzer Coin Laundry on Porter Wagner Boulevard in West Plains. They are here and ready to help you with your homework. Well, the laundry anyway. Drop off all your laundry and they will wash, dry, fold, and even press your clothes if you want them to. They do everything. But put it away. Zizzer Coin Laundry, next to R&R Tire in West Plains.
Some things you might not know about getting keys made for your vehicle. You do not have to go to the dealer to get keys made and programmed, and you do not have to wait for a company from the big city to drive down and do it for you either, which also means you do not have to pay expensive tow bills to get your car to the dealer. West Plains Lock and Key can cut and program keys for most vehicles new and old and will come to you. Call West Plains Lock and Key 256-8862, where tradition meets technology.
The Zizzers play here on today's Hot New Country KDY.
All right, let's see now. 1st down for West Plains. An out pattern at the 10 is caught. 2 missed tackles, and finally the tackle made across the 20 near the 22-yard line. Jesse Hudson on the reception that time. That's enough for West Plains. 1st down, a gain of 12.
We ran that play twice, once to each side in that last drive against Glendale last week. They both worked pretty well. Jesse Hudson's so dynamic. You want to get the ball in his hands because he can keep the defense honest, that's for sure.
Lots of folks are watching the ball game on our live stream and are listening on the radio. Here is first down with a motion man to the right side. And they'll throw it out there to the sideline. Catch is made, missed tackle, 25-yard line, 30-yard line, 35-yard line. Tackle made at the 39. And again, they got the ball out there. Anytime they can isolate Miller out there and get a one-on-one, that's a pretty good deal. That's a pickup on the play up to the 38 and the first down.
Yeah, Miller, if you need to put him in a position where he's one-on-one and he's out in space, because if he can make one person miss, there's very few people on any football field anywhere that can catch him.
All right, now it's first down and 10 from the 39-yard line. 3 receivers to the left. Out wide is Jesse Hudson. Back to throw it. Looking, pump fake, out of the backfield, incomplete. Oh, that was wide open for Lucas Conyers had he been able to pull that one in, but it was a little out of his reach, and it'll bring up second down.
Yeah, the timing was a little bit off there. I don't know if it looked like Lucas Conyers slowed down a little bit about mid route, and Simpson just threw it about 1 foot out of his grasp.
Glenn Bond was asking me a question here on the chat on our live stream, and I don't know the answer to that, but we'll find out. All right, now it's second down and 10 yards to go. Back to throw, deep down the left hash mark, and it's incomplete. Tried to get the ball to Hafer that time, and Zaquan Henderson, who has really proven to be a little bit of a pest tonight with good defensive coverage that time.
He's a good athlete. I wish we had him on our side,
yeah,
for sure. That wasn't a bad throw. There was double coverage that time on Hafer, and just a little bit out of his grasp. I really thought that could have been a pick six there by Henderson.
Howard Cox is watching from South Carolina. I intend to get there someday and play golf for about 2 weeks. I'm very ambitious. It's third down and 10. Flare pass out to the left side, caught at the 40, 45-yard line, 50-yard line, first down, lot more. Miller, stiff arm, gets by the defender, 10, 5, touchdown. A flag is down back at the 50-yard line. That's not a good sign.
They're going to get us for a hold there out on a block out on the edge, and I saw it happen in real time. I thought, oops, this one's coming back.
Come back it shall. The holding penalty notwithstanding, down around about the 25-yard line, it looked like Heston Miller was going to go out of bounds, and somehow he took some contact but did not step on the sideline.
That was Jesse Hudson, 22.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, sure was. And that was that same out pattern that we ran about 4 or 5 plays ago, and we were very successful against Glendale with that same play. So I guarantee we're going to come back to that one.
I thought it was Heston Miller, and that's an indication of how fast Jesse Hudson is. I didn't even give him a second look, but 22 and 23 are easy for me to mess up. Anyway, now, well, it's from the point of the foul, so it's going to be third down and 10 again. 3:35 to go in the first quarter. Back to throw, Simpson looks down the middle, has a guy, high pass, it's caught by Briggs Houston down at the 32-yard line, and that'll make it a first down and 10 for West Plains, and Big Briggs Houston went up and pulled that one in. Tell you what, it's really nice to have the luxury of a 6'6 receiver, a 6'4", 6'5 receiver there tied in. We got some guys. You just get the ball around them, get it up high enough, and they can go get it.
And Briggs is a basketball player too, so he has some skills, and he can go up and get the ball. Has good hands, and made sure that he was able to bring that in before he hit the ground.
A really good basketball player. Pass out to the right on first down. Here's a little play out to Heston Miller. Cuts across the defense, blows by everybody, going across the field, and a touchdown for West Plains. I double-checked to make sure that wasn't Jesse Hudson trying to fool me again. But a touchdown for West Plains, 33 yards, I believe, is what they're going to call that.
Good play by Heston Miller. He caught that on the far right side and was able to reverse course and come all the way back across the field and outrun everybody on the field into the end zone.
So that'll make it 20 or 19-0. We'll see if we can make it 20 here. They run the swinging gate, snap it quick, and the officials are going to call illegal procedure on West Plains or something like that.
Yeah, and sometimes, so we've ran the swinging gate, and we've done a couple different things out of the swinging gate formation, and I can promise you that's just so that we can get it on game tape.
Yeah.
Because when we get into these games going forward, now the teams that play us will have to spend time in practice on that play.
That's time.
And that's time lost.
That's exactly right. Here's the kick by Larson, and it's up. Tell you what, that young fella right there is turning into a pretty good place kicker.
He's a very good place kicker. He's a very good soccer player as well, and he'll be playing in the Parkview tournament with the West Plains Zizzer soccer team that starts tomorrow and 2 matches on Saturday. So best of luck to the soccer Zizzers. Let's go get another tournament win and bring it home to the West Plains.
Becky Lott, I hope you're feeling great, and I hope you're having a good evening. Becky is listening and watching the broadcast tonight. Say hi to Logan Sterner, Wilma Jones. Who else is with us tonight? Trish Fox, Roger Good. You can count on Roger to be watching from Kentucky. Russell Smith.
Oh, Russell too, man. He listens to every play, every game for years.
Lynn Bond, Carolyn Smith watching tonight. So happy to have everybody tuned in to the broadcast, whether it's on the radio or you're watching it. It's 20-0. West Plains with a lead, and we are still in the first quarter. Our game last week was over at about 10:07.
That was a pretty quick Glendale game.
For a Glendale game, it was.
Yeah.
Here's the approach by Larson, and he will squib it along the ground, picked up by Henderson back at the 10-yard line, 15, 20-yard line, and he'll be slung around and down. Loose football, ball on the deck, and the side judge says it was after he was down, so no turnover on the play, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Hillcrest. 2:53 to go in the first quarter.
You were talking about the attitude of the team and what I see. There's no flash. It's more of a yeoman business outlook than what we've had in the past, and these are just tough kids that love to play football, and you can tell they're gelling together as a team, and a lot of young kids that are starting. I'm looking at Will Stauffer, number 6, out here on the left side at corner. He's a sophomore, blazing fast. He had a nice game against Glendale, so it's good to get these young kids in there. They're going to have some great experience over the next 2 or 3 years.
1st and 10 with Ethan Weaver, the quarterback for Hillcrest from the 26. He's going to keep it, tuck it right around the corner, gets a good block on the edge. Big hit at the 34-yard line, and that's where the play will end. West Plains, I thought, reacted pretty well to that play, but eventually it was Briggs Houston getting to the corner after a gain of about 7, 2nd down and 3. One of the better plays Hillcrest has had tonight.
Yeah, as far as yardage gains, for sure.
Now the spread set with a single back. Weaver throws it high to the sideline. The ball is caught, and that's not going anywhere. Catch is made by Cole Griesemeyer, who is one of their returners, who was an all-conference player last year. And no gain on the play. 3rd down at about 3.
Yeah, Woody Rogers out there. He has a cast on his left hand, so if you put him and McCracken together, they can make a pair.
Oh, man.
Rogers is a good football player, and he does a really good job on that in that nose tackle position in that 3-man front.
All right, Hillcrest will come up. And let's see if they go with a run here. 3rd down at about 3. The officials will blow the play down. Hillcrest had to call timeout because the play clock was just about to run out. So a timeout. We'll do a 30-second break here. It's 20-0. West Plains leads Hillcrest on KDY.
If you're buying or selling real estate, you need an agent that'll dot all the I's and cross all the T's. At Century 21 Ozark Hills Realty, they take pride in their customer-focused approach to every situation. Century 21 has an office in every state with a global referral network that greatly expands your reach in the market. Century 21 has been voted the most respectable in the industry. Century 21 Ozark Hills Realty, 1822 Porter Wagner in West Plains. Don't settle for average.
Ozark Conference football excitement continues now with the Zizzers on KDY.
Also watching our broadcast tonight, hey, James Jones. Also, Jen Harper in the suburb community of Pomona. Amy Libby is also watching in Pomona tonight. Doug Lefevers is in Bonner Springs, Kansas. And Colin Boyd is also watching. So happy to have everyone watching the broadcast tonight. Here we are, 3rd down at about 3. From the 34-yard line of Hillcrest. Back to throw, looks left, flare pass. That ball may have been incomplete. Judd was out there just in case. That sideways pass, evidently forward enough to be an incompletion. Now it's 4th down and 3 to go.
Alex Judd, also a sophomore. He's really played some good football so far this year, so we're going to expect big things out of him. Of course, Judd, his name is synonymous with athletic success in West Plains, and looks like he's just going to be another chip off the old block.
He has really played well. I hadn't even thought about the fact he's a sophomore. He's just really been solid back there. 4th down and 3. Quick punt formation. They get rid of it. End over end. Will bounce. Takes a great bounce. Another great bounce for Hillcrest. They'll roll down inside the 30-yard line. They'll down it at the 29. 1st and 10 for West Plains with 1:50 to go in the first quarter. Our next broadcast will be next Friday night from Rolla. The start of a 4-game stretch, which will go a long way in determining kind of how this whole season shakes out in the very end. But as mentioned at the outset, this West Plains football team really made some strides from week 1 to week 2, and we're hopefully keep seeing that kind of progress. I'll ask Reed something here in just a bit, see what happens on this 1st down play. And they're playing man-to-man coverage, so good luck with that. Draw play, running left, and big hole, and Conyers crossed the 45-yard line. And he's going to have a great pickup. That'll be at the 47, 48. And that's about 18 yards and a 1st down for the West Plains Zizzers, down to 1:40 to go here in the first quarter.
Conyers is so funny. He's kind of reminds me of a Darren Sproles type.
That's exactly
player.
Right.
Not overly big. He can get behind those big linemen and find a hole. He's really good at being patient and following his blocks, and he has the speed to get positive yardage even after contact.
Darren Sproles, a diminutive running back from Kansas State, had a great pro career. Most of it was San Diego. Pass out to the left flat. That's caught by Hudson. He got a block. He's up the sideline, 40, 35-yard line, and down to 31, and that is going to be a pickup at 22 yards.
We had a very, very late flag come from the opposite side of the field, and I think we're going to get called with a hold again.
Good grief. I mean, if you can't throw the flag before the whistle blows, I've seen that so many already this year. So many times officials will stand there for 3 seconds and then throw a flag on the ground.
Yeah. And that one came from the opposite side of the field, and I didn't see the block. I just saw both players on the ground. It looked to me like a pancake block, and so if you're looking at that after the fact, you might think that it was a hold, but I don't know. I can't see the things. I reffed a game one time. I was talking about this earlier. I'll never do it again. So I really commend the refs out there because it really is a hard job.
1 minute to go in the quarter. Well, it is. But my point is, it's like an afterthought. You wait so long and then just drop your flag on the ground. If it's that obvious, throw it immediately. Man in motion is Miller to the right. Look right. Throw to the right. He has a screen set up. Can he get to the sideline? He breaks a tackle, and he's tackled at the 48-yard line of Hillcrest. Boy, that was one step from all the way.
You're absolutely right. That was a shoestring tackle, and he was wide open down that sideline.
That is going to be the last play of this quarter. And Watson Hafer, who's had a shoulder issue, is coming out of the ball game, hanging his right shoulder down a little bit. So he comes out, and that's the end of the quarter with the score. West Plains 20, Hillcrest nothing. Back in a minute on KDY.
For anything you need around the office, think Bureau. Office furniture? Think Bureau. Pens, paper, forms? Think Bureau. Cleaning and janitorial supplies? Think Bureau. Need supplies but you don't have time to get it? Think Bureau. They deliver. So for anything you need for the office, think Bureau. Stop by and see them just off the square in West Plains or online at thinkbureau.com. Bureau, 202 West Main in West Plains.
Howdy, mateys. Captain D here. I just came up with a great way to serve my scrumptious fish. A fish sandwich. I got Cajun catfish sandwiches, spicy giant fish sandwiches, and Southern-style flounder sandwiches. So don't flounder around. Get into Captain D's and try one of my sandwiches, invented by me. Hey, while you're here, come by and try my seafood gumbo. For lunch or for dinner, Captain D's is a winner.
It's back to the field for more Zizzer football action on Hot Country KDY.
They're either trying to pop Watson Hafer's shoulder back in, or they're working on a 63 Buick. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it's all hands on deck down there. And
yeah,
he's had a problem with that shoulder all season. I think it even goes back to last season. So they're getting him worked on, and I promise you that hurts.
Watson, I thought, had a pretty good basketball season last year. He really added a lot of athleticism and height to the Zizzers. Here we go on second down and 6. They'll hand it left with Miller. Cuts across, and a flag is down behind the play at the 50-yard line.
Looks like we're going to get another holding, and sometimes when it rains it pours. Yep. Oh, blocking the back. So we're talking about, we made, the offensive line had several penalties, and especially in the first half last week against Glendale. They cleaned it up in the second half. Obviously had lots of penalties in that first game. But that's a young offensive line for you. You have a couple sophomores. You have a first-year senior starter. And then they're really the only gel that holds that together is Magnus Sanders at center.
Second down and 17 now from the 40-yard line of West Plains. The Zizzers high snap. Simpson with a great catch. And he'll be spun around. They missed the tackle. He'll weave his way inside up to the 45, and he turned what could have been a 2-yard loss into a 5-yard gain. Good play by the quarterback for West Plains.
But that young line has been playing very well. I mean, obviously they have Garrett Mahan out there, too, at the right tackle. But those young kids and these first-year starters on the line, they'll get that cleaned up. Sometimes it gets sloppy, and sometimes you get your hands in a position where they don't need to be.
Need 12 for a first down. The ball's at the 45-yard line of West Plains. And the configuration this time, 2 receivers, a slot man right, back to throw, pump fake. And now Simpson's going to be he's going to throw the ball away, intended for Jesse Hudson. It's incomplete. Now there was a guy standing right there when he threw the football.
Yeah, but it's got to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Oh, that's rather picky, don't you think?
Yeah. I mean, we were a long ways behind the line of scrimmage.
Well.
And he was in the grasp. So they're going to talk about it. That's kind of a judgment call.
Waving it
off. Yep.
Good call. Now it's 4th down. 4th and 12. And I would suspect that they'll go for it here, but maybe not.
think I heard Coach Wyatt say punt, so we're actually going to see a punt here for the first time in this game, and I don't know that we punted at all last week, did we?
I don't know. I don't think so. 20-0 right now. Player on late. And Aiden Simpson will stand at his 33-yard line. Here's the snap. Good snap. And the ball's away, and a pretty good kick, end over end, lands at the 28-yard line of Hillcrest. They'll let it go, and he's going to pick it up and run up the right sideline, and a big hit to knock him out of bounds at the 48-yard line. You don't see that happen very often, and usually when a player does pick one up that's just bouncing, waiting for it to go dead, he usually gets creamed. That was a really good play, good timing on the return that turned it into about a 28-yard return.
Well, he caught us sleeping, so
yes.
you can't do that on the punt defense team. So I promise you, we'll be working on that this coming week in practice.
You said a couple of. This is what I was wanting to ask you about.
Yeah.
That you saw some of Joe Wyatt's teams play football over in the Boot Heel.
Correct. Yeah.
So, are you starting to see anything kind of like what they did there to what he's doing here?
Well, the totally different team with different players, but the philosophy is the same. Use the run to open up the pass, and we'll see what this is here.
Now, this is the Wildcat. Here's a snap back, I believe. Sample on the carry, and he's going to have close to a first down at the 42-yard line of West Plains. So that'll stop the clock while they move those chains. Well, that time, instead of Sample, they went back to the dynamo, Zaquan Henderson, who has, as Reed says, been an eye-opener at times tonight. First down.
So, yeah, as far as overall philosophy, we're doing some under-center type formations on offense. We're huddling up. We haven't done that in a while. You know, what was very obvious against Glendale is we were doing some clock management, which we're not necessarily used to in West Plains, but when you have the ball, like I said on the last drive, that's what made it so beautiful, was that we were able to control the clock, able to control the pace of the game, and go down and win the game.
Another timeout with 10:41 to go in the first half. 20-0. West Plains on top of Hillcrest. Back in a minute on KDY.
Hirsch Feed and Farm Supply, we have it all for you.
HirschEquipment.com. This is a game changer for anyone looking for equipment. That's because all of Hirsch Feed and Farm Supply's equipment inventory is now listed on one site. You can find tractors, lawn equipment, trailers, livestock equipment, pre-owned inventory, and more. In fact, you can go to the site and get a quote and get the value of your trade. Now, there's no reason to put it off. Get what you need today with the help of HirschEquipment.com.
Hello, my name is Hazel Patel. My husband and I purchased a home through Assurance Realty with Angie Worley as our real estate agent. We were very happy with the process from start till the end. We have been very happy with her services.
Hi, this is Angie Worley with Assurance Realty. If you have property to sell in either Missouri or Arkansas, we are the brokerage for you. Call 417-372-5420 and ask how we can help prepare your home for a smooth transaction. And remember, at Assurance Realty, it's all about you.
West Plains football continues now on Hot Country KDY.
As we come back here, it's first down and 10 yards to go. The Hillcrest Hornets on offense. That last play did result in a first down. So, out of the spread set, Ethan Weaver with a single running back. Let's see if it's Henderson. Here's a pass to the right, short pass, out of bounds, bumped out of bounds on the far sideline after short gain, about 5-6 yards.
So I'm going to say, he's in the booth right next to me, my old coach and mentor, Greg Simpkins. Now that Hillcrest is, apparently putting together a pretty nice drive, is you cannot let up on subpar teams, because if you let them hang around, they can hurt you.
It's second down. We're going to call it a short 4 for Weaver. Back to throw it. He flares it out of the backfield. That's caught by Henderson. A missed tackle. Tackle across the 35 to the 34-yard line. Still short of the first down. And Hillcrest, what do you have to lose you're down 20-0. They are definitely in 4-down territory here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They had the makings of a nice drive up until that point. So they're at least pulling it together temporarily.
We talked about the differences in this West Plains team to the one last year. There are several. We'll get back to that after this play. 3rd down, rolling out to the right. Oh, man, somebody got clipped from behind, and I'm waiting to see a flag. Big hit on the far side. That was a heck of a job of...
That was number 9.
Closing.
Isaiah Jones. Great job for him coming up out of that. I believe he was playing cornerback.
Well, there should have been, behind the play, one of the rushers for West Plains. You talk about a classic case of a clip. Somebody got him down around the calf from behind. Nothing. But then Jones, what a hit that was on the far side. And it's a loss on the play. That makes it 4th down and 13. And they've got to hurry.
Yeah, Jones actually playing the outside linebacker position. I was wrong.
Didn't get the play off in time. So it's going to be a 5-yard penalty unless they call timeout. And it seems like we've had about 18 timeouts called already in this first half. But here's number 19 with 8:58 to go in the first half. West Plains on top, 20-0, back in 1 minute. KDY.
The team at Ozarks Healthcare Orthopedics and Spine is focused on your athlete's health. That's why there's a doctor on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to care for unpredictable injuries. Ozarks Healthcare has 4 orthopedic doctors and 2 podiatrists on staff to care for your athletes. The OZH team sends best wishes to all athletes for safe play and exceptional sportsmanship. For more information about OZH Podiatry as well as OZH Orthopedics and Spine, visit ozarkshealthcare.com.
Did you know there's a place where you can get good neighbor service and surprisingly great rates on home and auto insurance? Yep, and that place is, ta-da! Justin Shelby State Farm. State Farm agent Justin Shelby is your go-to agent in Houston and West Plains for the service you deserve at the price you want. Call Justin Shelby State Farm for your surprisingly great rates today. Like a good neighbor, Justin Shelby State Farm is there. Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Now it's more Zizzer football excitement on Hot Country KDY.
It's 4th down and 12 for Hillcrest. They have it at the West Plains 43-yard line. Ethan Weaver with the snap, back to throw. Pressure ball tipped up in the air, and it's incomplete. And Miles Foster, once again, breaking through, got his hands up. He had a tip ball last week, if I remember correctly, a big play defensively. And Miles Foster leading the way. He had such a good year last year on a really good football team with a lot of good players around him. And sometimes when those good players around you disappear, you're not as effective. He's been good the first 2.5 games so far.
Oh, yeah, he's a monster. And all summer, the reports I was getting from players that I know, that he was just a monster at all the camps we went to, especially in stopping the run. He is a force to be reckoned with on the defensive line. And a big kid, too. I mean, 6'4", 240 pounds. I mean, that's a pretty good size for a defensive lineman in high school.
First down. Out of the eye set for West Plains from their own 43-yard line. Toss play, running right. Miller, jab step, goes wide, and now he is hit and stopped after a gain of 2 at the 45-yard line.
Nice tackle by number 14, Toby Filial from Hillcrest. He came up and he played that perfectly. That's where you have to tackle Huston Miller, is right around the legs.
I was looking across the way. Hillcrest numbers look like they are down a little bit. But I can't recall what they've been the last couple of years, but they don't have a big squad out there on the far sideline. Here we go on 2nd down and 8. Quick toss to the left side. Miller trying to get to the edge. Turns it up at the 50. Back out to the outside. 45-yard line. Tackle made, and that's enough for a first down. It should be a gain of about 10, maybe 11 yards for the West Plains senior.
I like that little pitch. It's almost like a basketball pass from Simpson, pitched back to to Heston Miller, and he gets out there around the edge, and anything can happen.
It seemed like the first week that we were just running, as far as Heston Miller goes, just general plays, standard plays, running plays, but doing more to try and get him isolated in this ball game tonight. Running play right up the middle, a big hole, and there goes Lucas Conyers. He gets it across the 40 down near the 37-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 8 and bring up 2nd down and 2. You don't have to look for a number when Lucas Conyers hits the hole. If it's not very tall and it's moving like a red blur, then that's Lucas Conyers. He may not be real big, but he is totally serious when it comes to hitting the hole with authority.
And you wouldn't think somebody like that would be our in-between-the-tackles option, but, man, he does a great job.
Now 2nd down and 2. 37-yard line. Simpson to throw. And underneath pass is caught. Good catch by Briggs Houston, and he'll be knocked to the turf at the 27-yard line.
Briggs Houston is such a weapon out there at 6'6", and able to make a very nice catch that time.
That ball is going to be marked as that's at the 27-yard line. Plenty for the 1st down. So let's see what West Plains, with the clock running, 6:44 to go. Would we ever have some great home games coming up? Camdenton and Lebanon. Pass out to the flat, caught by Hudson, but they smelled what the Rock was cooking there, and they closed in on that and stopped that play quickly. No gain on the play, 2nd and 10.
But you know what they just did? They messed themselves up. They bit. So next time we come back to that play, it'll be further down the sideline to probably Briggs Houston.
There will be a pump fake and then the words, oh, something,
Oops.
And your guy is about 20 yards down the field.
Right. So Hillcrest did exactly what the West Plains coaches were hoping that they would do.
They at least wanted to see what they were going to do, and now they know.
Mm-hmm.
Next snap, here's Miller going left, skips through a tackle, gets across the 20, 15-yard line, 10, cuts it back across. He's still moving at the 10, slung down at the 6-yard line. Gain of 22 and another West Plains 1st down.
Good job by Heston Miller that time, making something out of nothing. He kind of had a small hole to slide through, and once he got into the second level, was able to make a few other people miss. And that was very reminiscent of Aeneas Williams that we saw at Hannibal last year in the quarterfinals, who scored 8 touchdowns last Friday night.
How good is he?
Oh, he's the number 1 running back in the country right now.
Really?
As a junior.
I wonder if Mizzou is sending him mail. Here's a fake, and Aiden Simpson runs it up the middle and around the defense and gets in for the touchdown. Looks like he was running around cones that time doing a little drill, and he made just about everybody miss. And Aiden Simpson with a 6-yard touchdown. West Plains up now 26-0.
And that's exactly what this Wyatt offense does to you. You're so worried about people like Heston Miller and Briggs, and sometimes you forget that the quarterback can take off and run. So we softened up the middle with a lot of these plays to the outside. That was an easy touchdown by number 1.
Let's see if number 8 can kick an extra point here. It's 26-0. And the answer is yes. 5:09 to go in the first half. West Plains running away 27-0 over Hillcrest. And we're back in a minute on KDY.
At West Plains Bank and Trust Company, we're making things easier. After September 18th, you can expect a new online banking experience that will make it easier to access your money. Account numbers, card numbers, and online banking usernames will stay the same. You'll choose a new password for online banking, but you'll keep the same password from now on. Visit westplainsbank.com for more information or call 417-256-2147 to hear about how we're making things easier for you at West Plains Bank and Trust Company. Member FDIC.
If you want to prove to your neighbors that you own land, you need a deed.
But if you want to prove it to yourself, you need a tractor. That's why Coyote's made 2 all-new subcompact tractor models. The CS2220 and CS2520 feature drive-over mid-mount mower option and 22 25-horsepower Coyote diesel engines. They also come with available loader with quick attach bucket, standard, and available backhoe. Stop in and see my parents, Scott and Crystal Brown, today at Lunch Equipment. Coyote, we dig dirt.
The Zizzers play here on today's Hot New Country KDY.
27-0. West Plains has had their way tonight, and they'll kick it away still with 5:09 to go in the first half. Larson will approach, kick from left to right, and this ball is in the air and caught at the 9. Here comes Henderson up the middle of the field. Tries to get to the sideline. Hesitates, and he who hesitates is tackled at the, looks like right at the 20-yard line.
Did a little bit better job that time keeping contained, and then it looked like we had our ears pinned back when we came down the field that time. They were not going to let number 10 get any space on that return.
And with one exception tonight, where Hillcrest was able to get away a little bit, West Plains defense has held them in check. They've been able to do very little. I'll tell you, each week, I like this West Plains defense a little bit more. And like I said, you know, this team is really so much different than the one last year. This team is not quite as big. But you know what? I think they're a little quicker than we may have given them credit for when the year started. Here's a running play to the right. That'll get 2, maybe 3 yards. They'll hand that ball to Sample, and it will be a short gain on the play. So 4:50 and counting, 27-0. I've said it a lot of times, but that team last year for West Plains had more good football players on it than maybe any team that I have followed.
Oh, absolutely. You talk about the defensive players. I was thinking about Jason Lopez, who was my favorite West Plains player to watch of all time, I think.
Right.
He was everywhere on the field. And then obviously we had a once-in-a-lifetime type player in Connor Lair.
Here's the snap, a handoff Sample again right up the middle. And there will be a gain of maybe 2 near the 25-yard line.
But sometimes when you have those great players like that, you rely on them a little bit too much. And
right.
So, coming into this year where there was a lot of unknowns, but the defensive unit is working very well as a team, and it looks like the scheme is perfect for them. So we're putting our most talented players in a position where they need to be.
Here we go. It's third down. They need about 4.5. Back to throw. Deep down the sideline. Got a guy. And is it caught? It is caught at the 49-yard line of West Plains. That was a really good catch. Ball was underthrown, but Cole Griesmeyer made the catch, and it's a first down. The coverage wasn't bad, but that was just a good play.
Yeah, coverage was right on it. He was able to come back and catch the ball and kind of contort his body a little bit. So, yeah, great catch by Hillcrest.
First down and 10 from the 49-yard line of West Plains. Clock still moving. Spread set. And they'll have Sample in the backfield. This is out of a Wildcat. Henderson with it, keeps it. Going to reverse field. That was a bad move as he is dropped behind the line of scrimmage. There's going to be a loss on the play. Well, they're just going to give him a loss of 5. They could have given him a loss of 10. But his forward progress is going to be marked just at the 45-yard line. So that's a loss of 6. And it'll be second down and 16.
Good job by Lance Norton, Jr., coming from that defensive end position. Had great penetration and was able to finish the play.
So a play comes in late, but it's the guy probably going to run the ball. Zaquan Henderson on 2nd and 16. Back to throw it. He's going to look. He's going to throw it. He fumbled the football. It's loose on the deck. West Plains has it at the 33-yard line. And McCracken on the recovery.
Looked like number 50, Dylan Brigman, and also Monty Rogers. Is that right? They were in there. Were able to get to the quarterback, and he just coughed up the ball.
Well, the guy that wears a cast on his right hand in the last 2 games has intercepted a pass for a pick 6, and he gets a fumble recovery right there. So Carter McCracken, maybe after that hand heals up, he may just leave that cast on. I think
exactly.
It's working.
Maybe his good luck charm.
Now West Plains spreads 5 wide. Good spot for a quarterback draw. Back to throw it, Simpson. He's going to chuck it deep down the left side. 1-on-1, high in the air and tapped away and incomplete. They tried to get the ball down the left sideline to Heston Miller, but good coverage that time by Hillcrest in the left corner of the end zone. So time, 2:16 to go in the half. We have a lot of time to maybe get 7 more on the board. We may start the second half very close to the turbo clock kicking into gear, so we'll see about that. But now it's 2nd and 10. Staggered eye to the right. Fake the toss, back to throw it. Simpson throws it deep over the middle, high, and a jump ball. Who came down with it? Hillcrest. Hillcrest intercepts the pass in the end zone, and that'll be a touchback and a first down for the Hillcrest Hornets. Well, they've come up with a couple of plays tonight on defense, or else this thing could really be out of hand.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That was a 50-50 ball there for a little bit until they came to the ground, and the Hillcrest player was able to wrestle it away from Briggs Houston and ends up in an interception and a touchback.
First down and 10 now from the 20-yard line. The schedule is really odd this year because it's a home away, home away, home away, home away kind of a schedule. We don't play a string of home games or road games. And next week we go to Phelps County to play the Bulldogs from Rolla. It's 1st and 10 from the 20. Back to throw, looking to the right, looking left, now rolling to his right. And the ball is thrown underneath, incomplete. They tried to get it to the wideout who stepped up on the play.
Big hit on the quarterback that time by Carter McCracken just after the ball left the quarterback's hands. It was perfectly legal. He's shaken up a little bit over on the sidelines, but Carter McCracken once again making his presence known, even though he can't carry the ball quite yet.
You know, Joel said the other day we were talking about his injury and the fact he's able to be out there and play, but he said that if it weren't for his hand injury, he'd be the guy probably getting the most touches in the backfield because he is a dynamite running back. Snap back on 2nd and long. They'll try to get to the corner, get 2 yards before the tackle is made over there on the near sideline. And again, on the tackle that time for West Plains, I believe that was Rylan Kinslow.
I believe you're right. Rylan Kinslow coming out. He's a junior. Didn't play football for a couple years, and he came back out this year, and I'm so glad he did because he's quite a dynamic athlete.
Timeout on the field with 1:51 to go in the half. We'll take a 30-second timeout. 27-0. West Plains back in 30 on KDY.
Wilbanks Tire in West Plains is your stop for any auto or tire repair you may need. Wilbanks Tire has been in business in West Plains since 1978, so they are well established and reliable in the community. Open 8 to 5, Monday through Friday at 201 West 2nd Street in West Plains. Call the guys at Wilbanks Tire for tire specials and for auto and tire repair. 256-9571. 256-9571. Wilbanks Tire, proud supporter of the West Plains Zizzers.
Ozark Conference football excitement continues now with the Zizzers on KDY.
Back with Reed Grigsby, the author of the hit heard round the world, not to be confused with the shot heard round the world in 1951. Reed is just a pup.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't even a sparkle in my father's eye at that point.
I'll tell you a real quick thing about that here in just a little bit. Meaningless, trivial knowledge. It's 3rd down and about 7. And somebody has to come out. Equipment, blood, something. But a substitution is made there for West Plains. As now on 3rd down and 8, back to throw it. Henderson flushed out of the pocket, running right, tries to find a gap, can't find much of one, tackled at the 26-yard line. So he got some of it, but not enough of it, and that'll bring up 4th down. And you know something else, too, in the first 3 weeks, we've seen West Plains tackle much better. Last week, in one-on-one situations in particular, and they've tackled well here tonight. Minute 36 to go. Another timeout. West Plains probably called that one just so they'll have some time to get the ball back. Now, the shot heard around the world, of course, was the playoff, back when they didn't have the playoff system. In 1951, the New York Giants played the Brooklyn Dodgers for the right to go to the World Series, and Bobby Thompson hit the big home run that sent the Giants past Brooklyn to go to the Fall Classic. People over the years have heard the call of that home run. The Giants win the pennant, the Giants win the pennant, and all that. There is only one recording of that play, and it was recorded by a guy in his living room with a tape recorder.
Oh, wow.
And not the radio station, not a network, no one had a copy of that play. But because this guy and tape recorders were new back then, he had a new tape recorder, had it on, and recorded it. Otherwise, we'd never heard the call of that.
That's amazing.
All right, short set for a quick kick again for Hillcrest. 1:36 to go. And he's going to run the ball. He's going to try and throw the ball. He is going to miss one tackle, knocked out of bounds on the near sideline. Is that enough for a first down? Boy, it is close.
It is very, very close, and I believe they're going to move the chains.
How about that?
Yeah.
Well, why not? If you're Hillcrest, he ended up needing to get to the 31. They're going to mark him out at the 32-yard line. So how are we doing? I thought so. This game has more of a Glendale time element to it. It's already 8:15. But again, it's likely we'll see that fourth quarter go pretty quick. Back to throw it. Weaver, high and incomplete. Ball landed at the 47-yard line of Hillcrest, and the closest player was at around the 42.
I think the closest player was standing over on the sideline.
Good point.
Yeah. All kinds of pressure that time on the quarterback, so there really wasn't much of a chance for Hillcrest to get that play going. So that may have been a throwaway, actually.
Second down and 10. $1.25 left in the first half. They'll split Griesmeyer out wide to the right side with 4 receivers in the set. Back to throw out of the backfield. The catch is made over to the sideline. 2 missed tackles, and out of bounds is Sample, and he rolls up and is flat on his back. He's not on the playing field. He's on the sideline as he pulls his helmet off. He seems to have an issue.
He hit the ground a little funny that time, and sometimes that can really knock the wind out of you, so maybe that's what happened to him. He was tripped up, looked like by a couple players. Isaiah Jones was the last player to trip him up. Ends up on the turf and was not able to get very many yards at all.
Third down and 8. Line of scrimmage is the 33-yard line. 3 wide left. Snap low, toss late, on the ground, loose ball. Missed tackle 1, missed tackle 2, 3, and out of bounds on the far side. That'll stop the clock with 1:07 to play in the first half. And that's going to bring up another 4th down situation for for Hillcrest, and they'll have the ball at the 26-yard line.
Got a message from Michelle Dill. Her parents are listening in Nesbitt, Mississippi. So hello to all of our Mississippi fans out there. Glad you're listening.
I've got family in Hernando.
It's
not too far from Memphis. 4th down and 8. Boy, I tell you what, when the kudzu comes out down there.
Oh, my.
It takes over. Hard snap count and a flag.
You're going to get them for delay of game, I believe. No. The call was on West Plains. Encroachment.
So a 5-yard penalty. It'll be 4th down and 10. Clock is stopped at 1 minute and 7 seconds to go in the half. This is for the Love of Zizzer Sports Day night. As Reed said at the outset, just about all the teams playing today, and a lot of them playing home games, culminated with this one tonight. Aldis shotgun. They're going to go for it. They'll toss it high in the air near sideline. Ball is intercepted. Interception on the play.
I thought for sure my man Will Stoffer is going to get the interception, and Jesse Hudson comes out of nowhere and robs him of his stat.
And the ball will be marked at the 48. So you got a minute to go. Boy, I thought it was really impressive the way West Plains handled themselves in that last drive last Friday night. Really kept their wits about them, made no mistakes in terms of penalties or...
There was no panic.
No, none.
It was a very, very fun drive, and I've talked about it over and over. My wife's tired of me talking about it, but it was a beautiful drive.
Simpson on 1st down to the 48. Pass out to Hudson across the 50, 45-yard line. He's at the 40-yard line, still churning down to the 34. And that's a gain of 18, and another 1st down. That'll stop the clock as they move the chains. So this is really good. Good to be in a game situation where you can run that. They call it a 2-minute offense. In this case, a 1-minute offense. Simpson calls the play at the line of scrimmage. Looks right, throws right out to the flat. It's caught again by Hudson. 30-yard line, 25-yard line, 23-yard line. Another nice pickup on the play. And that's a gain of 11. That's another 1st down. That'll stop the clock momentarily. And I don't know that West Plains has any timeouts left. Both teams have called a bunch here in the first half. From the 23 on 1st down, back to throw it. Simpson looks to the left corner. Ball high in the air, and it is caught for a touchdown.
What a beautiful throw.
Heston Miller with the reception, but as Reed said, could he have thrown that any better to the left corner of the end zone?
Yeah, that was obviously, he was throwing that ball to that corner before Heston Miller was even looking for the ball. So that was obviously a timing play and a beautiful throw. Great catch by Heston Miller. The defender never did turn around to find the ball, so only Heston Miller could have caught that ball.
23-yard touchdown pass, 33-0. Larson's extra point kick is up. It's good, and it's 34-0 West Plains with 24 seconds to go in the first half and a minute timeout. You're listening to Zizzer Football on KDY.
Will Banks Tire in West Plains is your stop for any auto or tire repair you may need. Will Banks Tire has been in business in West Plains since 1978, so they are well established and reliable in the community. Open 8 to 5, Monday through Friday at 201 West 2nd Street in West Plains. Call the guys at Will Banks Tire for tire specials and for auto and tire repair. 256-9571. 256-9571. Will Banks Tire, proud supporter of the West Plains Zizzers.
The team at Ozarks Healthcare Orthopedic and Spine is focused on your athlete's health. That's why they are on the sidelines cheering you on and ready to step in should anything happen. Dr. Edwin Roeder is proud to be the Zizzer team physician. The Ozarks Healthcare team sends best wishes to all athletes for safe play and great sportsmanship. For more information about the OZH Orthopedic and Spine, please visit www.ozarkshealthcare.com.
It's back to the field for more Zizzer football action on Hot Country KDY.
34-0, almost halftime. 24 seconds to go in the half. I'm in trouble with Piper Williams because she said that we need to do the games for her Mighty Mite friends. She'd like to watch them on TV too. So
that'd be awesome.
It would. Here's the kickoff. Bounces at the 7, takes a cockeyed bounce, and still roll. You got to pick that up. Now it's picked up at the 7. Big hit at the 5. Loose ball. Did West Plains recover that? They did.
Wow. Huge mistake that time.
Whoa.
Number 10, Henderson, great athlete, but he's just trying to do a little bit too much, bless his heart, and coughed up the ball again. West Plains will have it first and goal from about the 2-yard line, looks like, Harlan.
I didn't see who covered the fumble, but
I didn't either.
Somebody caused the fumble with a really big hit. They're going to give Will Stoffer the credit for the recovery.
Boy.
You bet. So now West Plains with 17 seconds to go. Let's see if they just load up and run right at this. You know, they haven't done that yet tonight, really. They have not loaded up and run right at Hillcrest. Let's see if they do that here. They're going to line up under center.
Got a big fullback in.
So here is the handoff, and Lucas Conyers in for a touchdown. And that wasn't very tough.
No, that wasn't very tough at all, but Dawson Howell, you know, that big fullback, he can really plow some ground and was able to get our Darren Sproles look-alike into the end zone.
Boy, he was a good football player.
Yes, he was. He was fun to watch.
So that makes it 40-0. Snap good, hold down, kick is up, and it is good. We had some struggles with the kicking game last week on extra points, but been good tonight. And with 13 seconds to go in the half, it's 41-0. West Plains is on top.
Yeah. You really think about it, and this is what drives coaches nuts. If we would have made the 3 extra points that got blocked last week against Glendale, then that last drive would have been not necessary. So anytime you get one blocked or not able to convert, you're going to chase those points the rest of the night. So those are some things we got to get cleaned up, and looks like we have tonight, and this is the perfect game to do so.
And I thought Joel Wyatt really showed some confidence in Larson with that field goal from 28 yards late in the ball game. They had to get something out of that drive, and
even if you listen to the interviews after the game, he had full confidence that even in that last drive, if we needed to kick a field goal, he had 100% confidence in Larson in order to win the game for us. So that's what you have to have as a coach. That's what you have to have as a football team. You have to have confidence and trust. Otherwise, the whole thing falls apart.
That's a really fragile thing. It doesn't take, you can do some things to pump it up, and you can also tear it down if you're not careful. So
correct.
Chase will kick it again with 13 seconds to go. Here's a line drive kick or a bouncer picked up at the 12, running to the right, trying to get to the wall over there, and the tackle is made at the 28-yard line. With 6 seconds to go, Hillcrest should just take a knee here and call it good. 41-0. So the Hornets, who really have not threatened to get on the board tonight, will have first down at their own 28-yard line. Another thing that's been good here in the first couple of weeks, we really haven't had any injury issues in the first 2 ball games. We've had a few people dinged up a little bit, but serious stuff, not so much.
Yeah, we've had some cramping. We've had a couple dings. I mean, obviously the biggest loss is Watson Hafer having shoulder issues, and I don't see him on the sideline anymore. So I really hope the best for him, and hopefully we can get him back and healthy at some point this season.
Delay a game call against the Hornets. They were lined up in the spread formation, so we'll see what they do here. Now they're going to just take the snap and take a knee, or are they? No? They're going to line up 5 wide. That's the way they do it anymore, I guess. on first down and 15. Ball is at their own 15-yard line. Back to throw it. Going to try to heave it, and he'll end up getting spun around, and Henderson is tackled after a loss of 2 at the 22-yard line. That's the end of the first half, and it's just been a wipeout so far. West Plains on top of Hillcrest, 41-0. We're back in just a couple of minutes on KDY.
Stuart Morrison Ready Mix has been serving the Ozarks for over 3 decades. Think about that. And takes great pride in producing quality concrete, offering competitive prices. Stuart Morrison Ready Mix is ready to help you with all your residential, commercial, or agriculture concrete and rock needs. Give them a call today, 256-8171. Stuart Morrison Ready Mix, where you get concrete results every time.
If you own one truck to a fleet of trucks, TLG Peterbilt understands that when you have one broke down, it's more than lost time. Here at TLG Peterbilt, uptime all the time means we have the right parts for all models of trucks and trailers to get your truck back on the road and your drivers home for the game. Hey, this is Damon with TLG Peterbilt in Willow Springs. We proudly support our West Plains Zizzers. Visit us at tlgtrucks.com or on Highway 60 in Willow Springs.
If you're buying or selling real estate, you need an agent that'll dot all the I's and cross all the T's. At Century 21 Ozark Hills Realty, they take pride in their customer-focused approach to every situation. Century 21 has an office in every state with a global referral network that greatly expands your reach in the market. Century 21 has been voted the most respectable in the industry. Century 21 Ozark Hills Realty, 1822 Porter Wagner in West Plains. Don't settle for average.
Get a great deal on Kubota tractors at Edgeler and Harper Farm Equipment, like the 3302 package. Get a 4-wheel drive 33 horsepower Kubota with box blade Kubota loader and Land Pride bush hog for 0 down, $341 per month with 2.49 APR for 84 months, now through 9/30/22. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more details.
Hi, this is John Edgeler. Remember, we are 2 names you can trust, Edgeler and Harper and Kubota, West Plains and Mountain Grove.
Summer is winding down, but you still need to stay on top of your game when it comes to the outdoors. Monty's Outdoors at the Southern Hills Shopping Center has game cameras. It's time to get pictures of those big bucks. Also, all kinds of great fishing tackle. And don't forget camouflage and hunting boots. You'll find it all at Monty's Outdoors, where your next adventure starts.
When it's time for new tires, Don's Auto Service in West Plains needs to be your first stop. Right now, you can get up to $75 back plus an added bonus of up to $75 more when you use the Goodyear credit card. Rebates paid by Goodyear Visa prepaid card on purchases made now through September 30th, 2022. Stop in or give them a call today.
More than just a tire store. Don's Auto Service.
If you happen to be in an accident, keep this in mind. You have a choice in who tows your vehicle, so make the right choice and call 256-7628 for J&J Recovery and Towing of West Plains. They answer the calls 24/7. They will get to you fast and take your vehicle to the destination of your choosing. So if you're in a wreck, breakdown, or whatever reason you might need a tow, make the right choice and call J&J Recovery and Towing 256-7628.
Hi, Zizzer fans. It's the Long Brothers again.
Do you know what we love most about Zizzers football?
Cheerleaders?
Popcorn? Goodbye! Sure. We also love that it brings the community together to celebrate one thing we can all agree on, the love of our town.
So thank you, West Plains athletes, parents, fans, teachers, and coaches.
Thank you for your continued support of Long Electric.
Long Electric, 293-6884.
West Plains football continues now on Hot Country KDY.
We're at halftime. It's 41-0. One of the attractions at Zizzer Stadium for the home games, of course, is the Zizzer Pride Marching Band under the direction of Rocky Long. I would encourage anyone, if you've got a child coming up, whether it's junior high or high school, if you want to get them involved in something that they'll benefit from, I'll tell you what, band is a great thing, and we've got both vocal and instrumental music instructors here that do a great job at West Plains.
Oh, top notch. I mean, and maybe even world class when you talk about Kelly Dame and Rocky Long. I mean, they're two of the best in the business, and we're so very lucky to have them here in West Plains.
When our daughter she started in junior high school, but we weren't real sure. We thought, well, she wants to give it a shot and just kind of see what it's like, and it turned into, as it does with a lot of these kids, it turns into a love affair with that instrument and something they stick with. And there's a lot of things that you can learn from being in band. It's a team sport too. I mean, you've got to, if you blow your assignment, you make everyone else sound a little worse.
Yeah, you make an excellent point. I mean, it doesn't matter what activity you choose in high school or as a young person. They all have that competitive focus, that competitive aspect to it. It doesn't matter if it's band, choir. I was in choir. Those choir competitions that we went to were intense, and that's no joke, and they were wonderful. So any time I see a young person, it doesn't matter what you do, but it's important that you do something. Find something, find your people, find what you love. It doesn't have to be football, it doesn't have to be basketball, but even the chess club or esports, which is a big thing that's growing across the country that I can imagine that we could see in West Plains and sometime in the future. Any of those things are so beneficial to young people.
Well, Missouri State, West Plains, they've introduced that now. They do have esports, electronic sports, video stuff. So a reflection of the time that we live in. We've had many kids also go on to college thanks to their band participation, and they've extended their education.
You're absolutely right, and so you can take these things that you learn competing on the high school level and working in a team environment and perfecting your craft, and it can pay your way through college, or at least get your foot in the door in college, and then you end up joining the marching band or the concert band on the college level, and then that takes it up a whole different notch, a whole nother level. So
41-0 is the halftime score. We'll come back and talk about the first half a little bit and look ahead maybe a little bit to next week too. It's 41-0 West Plains on top of Hillcrest, and we're back in just a couple of minutes on KDY.
Are you in the market for a new home here in southern Missouri? Hi, this is Michaela Jones with USA Mortgage. I have over 20 years experience in real estate lending and can help guide you through the process. When you're ready for a loan, find me on Facebook or in the Silver Springs Business Complex, just off Bypass 63 in West Plains. We are USA Mortgage.
JS Acquisition Company, LLC, DBA USA Mortgage, NMLS 227262. Not a commitment to lend. Additional terms and conditions apply. Headquarter 12140 Woodcrest Executive Drive, Suite 150, St. Louis, Missouri. 63141. Toll free 888-250-6522.
Get to Brown Furniture and Appliance in downtown West Plains. They're fully stocked with Ashley sectionals with many styles and colors to choose from. Do you need a freezer with deer season coming up? Grab an upright or chest type freezer in stock now. While you're there, pick out an entertainment center for a stylish place for your TV while you watch the big game. They start at only $479.99. Get 24 months no interest with approved credit. Brown Furniture and Appliance, growing with the Ozarks since 1949.
Hi, this is Taylor Grubaugh with Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC in West Plains. As we all know, new vehicles have been very hard to come by lately. But in West Plains, we have truckloads of new vehicles arriving daily. That's right, we have the most inventory here in stock that we've had all year long. Hurry in today before they are all gone.
Find new roads at Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC in West Plains.
And get great buys from nice guys.
Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet in West Plains.
Tyler Farr is coming to Riverfront State Park in Van Buren Saturday, October 8th. Gates open at 4, first act begins at 7. Come see one of the bright new stars in country, Tyler Farr, at Van Buren's Riverfront State Park, October 8th. Go to eventbrite.com for tickets. And for refreshment, Pepsi Mid-America has the perfect solution, 7-Up. The clean, refreshing taste of 7-Up is perfect for any occasion. Want the day to go better? Have a 7-Up from Pepsi Mid-America.
Hello, my name is Hazel Patel. My husband and I purchased a home through Assurance Realty with Angie Worley as our real estate agent. We were very happy with the process from start till the end. We have been very happy with her services.
Hi, this is Angie Worley with Assurance Realty. If you have property to sell in either Missouri or Arkansas, we are the brokerage for you. Call 417-372-5420 and ask how we can help prepare your home for a smooth transaction. And remember, at Assurance Realty, it's all about you.
First Feed and Farm Supply, we have it all for you.
HirschEquipment.com. This is a game changer for anyone looking for equipment. That's because all of Hirsch Feed and Farm Supply's equipment inventory is now listed on one site. You can find tractors, lawn equipment, trailers, livestock equipment, pre-owned inventory, and more. In fact, you can go to the site and get a quote and get the value of your trade. Now, there's no reason to put it off. Get what you need today with the help of HirschEquipment.com.
Now it's more Zizzer football excitement on Hot Country KDY.
It's going to be weird tomorrow night, Friday night, and us not having a football game. So
yeah, exactly. I don't know what we're going to do with ourselves.
Probably go to a football game.
I was telling Harlan earlier, I was scrolling through Twitter trying to find the scores from tonight. I didn't even register that I'm on a Thursday night here. I'm off my game.
41-0. The Zizzers are on their game. You would have expected probably coming in here that West Plains would kind of have their way. It's one thing to expect it, another thing to actually pull it off. We've had a few penalties. Sometimes it's really hard to play well against some of the weaker teams in your conference, but outside of a few penalties, West Plains has looked really sharp tonight.
Yeah, I got pretty ugly there in the second quarter. There was one drive where we had several penalties. Had a couple holding penalties right in a row. So, sometimes you get complacent when you're playing when you're playing Hillcrest. You get complacent and you're out of position, and all of a sudden something bad happens. You get a flag. But other than that, they got it cleaned up and looked like we showed up for business and were able to execute.
Next week, we hit the road. We head due north. We're headed to Phelps County, where the Rolla Bulldogs will be the opponent for West Plains. And I think it's pretty safe to say that figured going into the year as one of your real tough early tests. But we passed last week, came out with flying colors. And Rolla, who got thumped the first week, they turned it around last week and did some thumping of their own. So we'll see what happens up there. But the Rolla program is pretty good, and they can play about anybody in the conference.
Yeah, they tell like last year we lose to Lebanon, and then the very next week Lebanon goes to Phelps County and loses to Rolla. So Rolla has the talent, and I know they have good coaches, and they're able to win ball games. They're not quite there yet, but I've been saying for the last 2 or 3 years that I think we're going to see a rise in the Rolla football program, and I don't think they're quite there yet, but they're still going to be a very, very tough opponent.
I alluded to this in the first half, and that is we've been very lucky, knock on wood, that we haven't had, really any injuries to speak of for the most part through the first couple of weeks of the season. One of the things that was, I think, a big key in last year's team having the success they did was the same thing. We didn't really have a rash of injuries, and it seems like when you have those type of injuries, it always hits your key players. But last year, West Plains was very fortunate. Is it fortunate or luck? I don't know. But it never hurts to have a little bit of luck. And so we've been pretty fortunate in that regard so far this season. And we need to be healthy when we go into this next stretch of games. 4 really tough ball games are coming up in a row.
Yeah, of course, Kickapoo and Camden played each other last Friday night. Kickapoo was up big in the fourth quarter. Camden had to score 21 points in that fourth quarter to come back and win the game, and Kickapoo was without their starting quarterback. So we knew Camden was going to be tough this year with Bear Shore playing at quarterback. He's been a starter up there for 3 years now. So the fact that Kickapoo had Camden on the ropes at Camden with a backup quarterback tells me Kickapoo's pretty darn good. So when you go into that murderer's row of Kickapoo, Lebanon, Camden, all back-to-back, we better have our A game because any one of those teams could very easily slip up and beat us.
How many times in the last probably 5, 8 years, 10 years have we said that it's just a matter of time until Kickapoo kind of gets their act together and gets their program back to where it had been? And it's been a slow grind, but you talked about the evidence of it. Kickapoo is obviously pretty good this year, and you may be able to win the conference with still a loss on your ledger, because I think we've got some matchups this year that, anytime Lebanon and Camden play each other, and then we saw what Rolla did to Lebanon last year. I mean, it's the kind of league where I don't think we really have a dominant team, but we've got about 5 pretty good teams.
Yeah, exactly right. I know for a fact we have 4 really good teams when you talk about West Plains, Kickapoo, Lebanon, and Camdenton, and then maybe throw Rolla in there. So, and
Glendale.
And Glendale, yeah. So Glendale now has 1 loss, but you can't count them out for the conference championship, because they can turn it on and they can run the table on the Springfield schools and maybe slip up and beat Camdenton or Lebanon, one of the two, and there they are at the end of the year in the mix. So high school football, I've always said anything can happen on a Friday night, and that's why you have to take care of business against teams like Hillcrest, Parkview, the teams that you should beat. You need to go ahead and do that, and then hopefully you can play well enough against the really good teams to slip up and beat them as well.
We were talking after the first game to a very wise, knowledgeable football individual. I asked him kind of what he thought after the first week. Well, you take what you saw in the first week, and prospects aren't looking all that great with especially the kind of schedule we have to play. But it's I don't know if you say it's typical, but it's not unusual to see football teams make progress. And if you have good coaching and good players, you can see that progress from week to week. And we saw that, I think, almost in a startling way from going from Bolivar to playing Glendale. I thought we really looked much better last week. And these young guys, and I think that's part of it too. When you've got underclassmen that haven't played a lot previous years, and they get to play more minutes from one game to the next game to the next game, there's no way they can help but get better as you go.
Yeah, and I know it drives the casual fan crazy, but you can't correct a mistake unless you make it. And so that first week, we came in and we weren't able to get into an offensive rhythm. We made a lot of mistakes. That gives the coaches something to work with the following week in practice. Thankfully, it was against Bolivar, and Bolivar was not very strong this year, so we were able to kind of have a tune-up game. That following week, it was obviously cleaned up. There was not the same mistakes in week 2 that we made in week 1. And then this week they'll look at game film, they'll see the mistakes that we made in this game, and we'll see another cleanup of mistakes between week 3 and week 4.
And I think that's an indication of coaching.
Sure.
When you see something like that. And for folks that were not very familiar with Joel Wyatt before he came here, I told everybody, you have got yourself as good a football coach as you could find anywhere else in the state of Missouri. It may not be exactly the same from the way things are done from the past few years, but Joel Wyatt has a track record. He has the results to back it up, and he's got his way of doing things, and it's probably going to take a little while, for the team to kind of adapt to that, because been doing pretty much the same thing for several years.
Yeah, and so and following Matt Perkins is a tough gig. I mean, he was a very good football coach. He had his system. He executed it well. It was very exciting. This is a new coach coming in and putting his system in, which just happens to be totally different than what we were used to under Matt Perkins, almost going back to what we saw under Steve Airy a little bit.
Right, early on.
Yeah, and if you know anything about Joel Wyatt, I mean, he was the offensive coordinator under Steve Airy for many, many years. And so Steve Airy's offense actually came from Joel Wyatt.
Right,
so,
that's right.
Yeah, so now we're back into the Steve Airy hard work, hard-nosed, old school type football, and I like it. It fits this team well.
And that's the other thing. You can't take a group of players whose strengths are not what adapts to a particular off. It's like trying to pound the square peg in the round hole.
Right.
You've got to figure out what you do best. And one of the very first things I remember Joel said when he came here, and we were probably about a month out from the season starting, I said, what do you like best about your football team? And he said, one of the first things he said was, if you don't have a quarterback, it's hard to compete. Mm-hmm. And he said, Aiden Simpson, he had a lot of faith and is really happy with how Aiden had prepared for this season. He didn't have many chances in the last couple of years.
Right.
But I think we've seen Aiden, you know.
We've seen him grow up before our eyes.
Yes.
I mean, for real. And that was kind of a big question mark. I've known Aiden for a long time. I know he has the athletic ability, but we were so used to Dagan Kinslow, who is a totally different type of player.
Completely different.
But such a great athlete back there in the quarterback position that was kind of a question mark coming into the season. And my questions are answered. I think Aiden is doing a very, very good job and has actually shown me some things I didn't know that he was capable of.
And that's the other thing. Don't ask somebody to do something that they can't do.
Sure.
Put them in a position to do things they can do, and that has a ripple effect, and things generally go much better when you approach it like that. We're about ready to start the second half here. It's 41-0. Hillcrest will kick off from south to north, and the Zizzers will prepare to return. Like I said earlier, we have over the next month, we've got going into October even, we have 4 consecutive tough games. 2 of those games will be here against Camdenton and Lebanon. Well, I'm really looking forward to that. Camdenton evidently is pretty much maybe the best that they have been in a while. But we'll get a chance to see them firsthand here at Zizzer Stadium. And same thing with Lebanon. Nobody home. Here comes the kick. And it's just a little pooch kick. Caught in midair and return up to the 40-yard line. Tell them we don't want any Girl Scout cookies. Will you do that? Grief. So it's first down and 10. 2 doors down, buddy.
And I'm back.
He's back. First down and 10 from the 38-yard line.
What did I miss?
You missed nothing.
Okay.
A pooch kick, return to the 38, and the clock is running. Fake the hand, no, they'll hand it off really right, and there's Miller. Look at him go, zooming in and out. 40, 35, you're not going to catch him.
Nope.
That's a touchdown from 62 yards.
I was getting ready to say no flags, and then we're going to get a very late block in the back after we scored. So we'll see how they call this.
He was in the end zone, had to be before the block was even made, I would think. But Heston Miller looked like a Lamborghini driving around the cones, you know. And then once he kicked it into passing gear, it was over. The officials are talking on the far sideline. There was evidently an illegal block way downfield that didn't have to even be made.
It was behind the play. We had actually already scored. So that's what they're talking about now. Is it going to be a dead ball personal foul after the play, or are they going to call the whole thing off?
Well, if it was after the touchdown, I don't know how they could call this back. You could apply it on the extra point or apply it on the kickoff.
Yeah, they're going to give us the score.
Dead ball personal foul against West Plains. Now, give us a signal that it's a touchdown. Well, it's going to be a touchdown. They didn't make the signal, but it is a touchdown for Heston Miller. A 62-yard run. First play out of the box in the third quarter. 47-0.
I'm looking at my old ball coach here next to me, and he doesn't like stuff like that.
I think a lot of that guy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. One of the best.
And now we'll blow whistles again on the extra point try. That'll stop things for the time.
He pulled me out of a game my junior year for doing that exact same thing and set me on the sideline and wouldn't talk to me for about a quarter.
Greg Simpkins. He came here from Seneca.
That's right.
I'm going to tell you something he told me one time. It's always stuck in my head. Here's the extra point try. High snap. Kick is hold is down. The kick is up. And the kick is good. 48-0. West Plains, 11-10 to go, third quarter. Back in a minute on KDY.
The team at Ozarks Healthcare Orthopedic and Spine is focused on your athlete's health. That's why they are on the sidelines cheering you on and ready to step in should anything happen. Dr. Edwin Roeder is proud to be the Zizzer team physician. The Ozarks Healthcare team sends best wishes to all athletes for safe play and great sportsmanship. For more information about the OZH Orthopedic and Spine, please visit www.ozarkshealthcare.com.
Home of the Bailey Factor. John Bailey again from Bailey Chevy GMC in beautiful downtown Willow Springs. Supporting our local schools is just part of the Bailey Factor. You'll hear us cheering our local high school teams on the air and even on the sidelines. Come check out our great selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs today. Go 4693111. Bailey team is gonna get it done.
The Zizzers play here on today's Hot New Country KDY.
They're going to apply that personal foul on the kickoff. So after the 62-yard run by Heston Miller, the dead ball foul, personal foul against West Plains, will move it back to the 25-yard line.
We're going to get tested to see just how far Chase Larson can kick the ball.
Let it loose. He's got a pretty good leg. All right, he's ready to go. The deep receiver Henderson stands at the 19-yard line of Hillcrest. Here's the approach and the kick. And a line drive away from the receiver. Goes past him. He fumbles the ball, picks it up at the 3-yard line, and now turns it up to the left side, turned in. Now tries to get wide. And the Zizzers have it hemmed in. They'll run him out of bounds on the far side about the 13-yard line.
He's tough to bring down. That's a fact. He's a dynamic player, and I'm shocked that Hillcrest has not gotten him the ball more often. Of course, he's fumbled it twice too.
That's true.
Maybe that's why.
Now, a lot of the time when a receiver has to chase a ball like that backward, picks it up deep, a lot of the time your coverage will break down. West Plains coverage did not break down. They stayed at home on the far side of the field, and they kept that from popping for something bigger. They're going to call him out of bounds at the 10-yard line. First down and 10 for Hillcrest from their own 10. Clock is a-rolling. It will roll the rest of this half unless the lead gets down to under 35. Alva spread set, late snap. They're going to hand it off right up the middle. No gain on the play. Tackle made right at the 10-yard line, so there wasn't much there. And Miles Foster on the tackle that time for West Plains. Greg Simpkins came to West Plains from Seneca about 40 years ago. And I remember talking to him on the telephone one day. Seneca has had such a history of outstanding football over there on the west side of the state near the border. Alva spread again. Second down and 9. They give him the 11-yard line on that last play. Draw play up the middle. And this time Sample on the carry for the Hornets. And he'll get up near the 14-yard line. But I asked him the first time I ever talked to him, I said, how is it that Seneca turns out such good football teams every year at a relatively small school? And he said it's the kids. He said the mindset of the kids, it's a toughness that they have. And I said, well, how do you how do you grow that? He said the favorite game that little kids played at recess back in those days, again, this is 40, 50 years ago, is called stick the ball in the ground. And they got a hole in the ground, and everybody plays against everybody else. Here's a pass on a fly pattern down the side. It's caught. Terrific catch at the 47-yard line. And it'll be a first down for the Hornets as they connected that time. The defender let him get behind him on the reception. Philyaw, the receiver that time. That's a first down, and that's the biggest play of the night for Hillcrest.
Really not bad coverage that time, but sometimes on those pass plays, Kinslow was going for the interception when he probably should have batted the ball down.
Knock it down.
Knock it down.
All right, the lineup. Out of a spread formation with a double wing, double wide outs. Man in motion, snap low, and now a quick throw down the right side. Nobody there but a Zizzer, and it's intercepted by Briggs Houston. He's running it back 40, 45, 50-yard lines now to bounds. Everybody had given up on the play except Briggs Houston, and it was right to him on the far sideline.
Yeah, the toughness, you got to teach it at a young age, and a lot of these kids that are on this varsity squad played Mighty Mites together going all the way back to third grade when we were doing the traveling North Arkansas League. And so players like Jesse Hudson, that's a senior, he was one of the first groups of players that played in that traveling league, and it is really paid dividends.
On first down from the 49-yard line, their own. They'll hand it off, running to the right, and a good run across the 50, 45, maybe the 44-yard line. Lucas Conyers on the run that time. And we've got some changes here on offense, and Isaiah Jones is playing quarterback now.
Remy Wilson coming into the game, he had a really great return in that game against Glendale that set us up with a short field for that final drive. Put the ball in about the 50. He played JV the other night, and I was at a soccer match, but I could hear Steve Martz, and he called Remy's name quite a lot.
And now on 2nd and 3, running play to the left. We'll cut it up inside. That's enough for the first down to the 36-yard line. And Remy Wilson on the carry that time.
So we're putting the clean jerseys in. Some of these younger kids that are sophomores are going to get some playing time. I don't know. There's some inexperience there, but I don't know that it's a step back in ability because that's a really good sophomore unit. JV the other night, they played Glendale and it beat them 56-21 or something like that on Monday night. So pretty good unit coming up that are sophomores this year.
Spread set, 1st and 10, 36-yard line. Pass play out to the right flat. That ball is caught at the 30-yard line, tackled down at the 26-yard line. That time, Jacob Moore, the receiver, and that is going to be another first down for West Plains.
Number 9, Jeremiah Jones is now in at quarterback. He's a tall, athletic kid. Plays very well on the JV level, plays really well on the varsity defensive side of the ball.
Joe Wyatt says he really likes his underclassmen. He thinks he's got some kids with some real ability and potential. Here's a running play, running left, same thing, this time to the far sideline. And the trip up and the tackle at the 20 on the carry that time. Again on the carry was Jacob Moore. He is a freshman, 6 foot 166. Gain of 6, 2nd down and 4. 3:18 and counting. 48-0 West Plains. So as Reed said, you got a lot of new people in there right now. Alva spread set. Quarterback will keep it. Bounces wide to the left. Now straight up the hash mark, and he'll get down to the 14. That'll be plenty for the first down. Make it a 13-yard line. First down and 10 to go.
Looks like number 7, Preston Ramsier, is in the game as well in a wide receiver position. I'm going to try to get all these players announced in the game if I can.
It's first down and 10 to go. The Zizzers could get a first down if they can get it down to the 10-yard line, or down to the 3-yard line. And now the ball will go wide to the left side. Not much, maybe a gain, well, actually close to 5 yards. And it'll bring up second down and about 5.
Yeah, it's actually kind of a bad spot. They were only giving him 3 yards.
Wow, they did, didn't they? Oh, well, it's second down and 8. Second down and 8 to go with 1:47. That clock is moving. It ain't going to stop. Spread set. Quarterback option to the right side. Toss play out. And there will be a gain up to about the 10-yard line. Again, it was Remy Wilson on the carry. He'll pick up short yardage, and that'll bring up third down and 6. 1:25 to go in the third quarter.
Got a couple new linemen in there. Number 75, Fernando Lopez. It's a sophomore.
Spread set. Hand it running to the right. And not much there. It'll be a loss of a yard on the play as Remy Wilson took the handoff. And I don't think it'd be an exaggeration or presumptuous to say we may have thrown the ball for the last time tonight.
Oh, I'd say you're probably right. We're going to go for it here, just to keep the ball out of their hands.
And even if you don't make it,
yeah,
they're going to have about 90 yards.
Still deep. Yep.
Spread set, 4th and 8 from the 11. Pass out to the flat. The catch is made, and the tackle is made at the 5-yard line. They threw it a little out pass that time to Jacob Moore, and a little bit short of the first down as the clock stops with 14 seconds to go in the third quarter. And this really looks like a timeout. They have to call timeout to stop the clock because it's not stopping for love or money until we get between quarters or for an injury. Timeout on the field, 14 seconds to go. And we'll take a 30-second timeout. 48-0 West Plains, back in 30 on KDY.
Current Incorporated continues to grow their services to better serve the area. They still do the electrical and HVAC work they are known for, but now they offer IT support and computer repair, security systems, duct cleaning, and even repair commercial equipment, including restaurant equipment. Whether you are home or at work, call Current Incorporated.
Real fast service right to your door. Call 257-0504. 257-0504.
Ozark Conference football excitement continues now with the Zizzers on KDY.
We'll probably run one play here and then call it good and go to the fourth quarter. It's Hillcrest football on their own 6-yard line. West Plains defense pitching a shutout so far. Spread formation. Pass out to the right sideline, and that ball is incomplete. And that'll be the end of the third quarter with the score, West Plains 48, Hillcrest nothing. Back in a minute on KDY.
Howdy, mateys. Captain D here. I just came up with a great way to serve my scrumptious fish. A fish sandwich. I got Cajun catfish sandwiches, spicy giant fish sandwiches, and southern-style flounder sandwiches. So don't flounder around. Get into Captain D's and try one of my sandwiches, invented by me. Hey, while you're here, come by and try my seafood gumbo. For lunch or for dinner, Captain D's is a winner.
Wilbanks Tire in West Plains is your stop for any auto or tire repair you may need. Wilbanks Tire has been in business in West Plains since 1978, so they are well established and reliable in the community. Open 8 to 5, Monday through Friday at 201 West 2nd Street in West Plains. Call the guys at Wilbanks Tire for tire specials and for auto and tire repair. 256-9571. 256-9571. Wilbanks Tire, proud supporter of the West Plains Zizzers.
It's back to the field for more Zizzer football action on Hot Country KDY.
2nd down and 10 for Hillcrest. From the 5, they'll roll out. They'll throw a bomb down the right sideline, incomplete. That ball could not have been caught, but really good coverage. How about Briggs Houston running step for step with Henderson, who is really fast?
Yeah.
That was pretty good coverage.
Very, very good coverage. He's doing a really good job in that free safety position. Obviously came up with a huge interception last week in the waning seconds in the Glendale game. Speaking of, we were talking about some big games coming up. I wish, and we'll talk about it after this play, actually.
It is 3rd down and 10. The ball is at the 11-yard line. I'm sorry, it's at the 6-yard line. At the 6, back to throw. A little lob pass out of the backfield. And that was a great case in point of the running back, in this case, Dante Sample. He was more interested in who was coming at him and not the football coming at him.
Yeah, and Isaiah Jones actually pulled up there at the last minute. That was getting ready to be a massive collision. He pulled up right at the last second. But what I was getting ready to say, we have a huge game coming up here in 2 weeks playing Camden at home. It will be the game of the year thus far. And I know everybody's at home and likes to listen to us around your fire pit and send me funny texts. We need you at Zizzer Stadium being loud and being rowdy.
It is 4th down. They're going to go for it. Roll out to the left. He's going to run it and go out of bounds. I don't know where they're going to mark him out at, but that's going to be... No, they're going to mark him out of bounds, it looks like, back at the 11-yard line.
Yeah, so that'll be a turnover on downs, putting West Plains in excellent field position.
Well, that'll give the JV kids a chance to punch one in as the clock continues to roll.
Look like number 74, Jackson Hunter, was in defense. He's a freshman. Very big, very strong, very fast.
This is one of those deals where you sometimes have to count noses in the huddle because you got so many substitutions here. This time, 2 out to the right, 1 to the left with a wingman on the right side. Jones, quarterback, will fake it, keep it, run it, across the 10 to the 9, and that's the end of that. Gain of 3 on the play. You make a really good point. You remember when the program really hit its upswing, and some of the crowds we had, for home contests were just phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. And super loud. And so, these kids need our support. We absolutely owe it to them as a community to come out here and really be rowdy for the Camden game.
Out of the spread, will hand it off, running left, cutting it back, cutting it out. Tackle made down at the 6-yard line. And I couldn't tell if it was a 17 or a 40. It looks like it was 47.
Dallas Roberts. Yep, sophomore running back, 5'10", 182.
I believe Lucas has probably carried the ball for the last time tonight. So it'll be 3rd down and 6. Four wide, single back there with the quarterback, and he will keep it. Jones will run it across the 5. Bulls forward, 3-yard line, 2-yard line, leans forward. Ball pops out, and it's covered in the end zone. That may be a touchdown, and it is.
I didn't see who got the touchdown, but he'll want his name called. Who was it? Number 24.
Jackson
Taylor, freshman wide receiver.
Well, he'll have something to tell when he goes home tonight, won't he?
It's his first varsity touchdown of his career.
And by the time he's 50, he'll have run 70 yards, broken 8 tackles, and did a cartwheel into the end zone.
Right.
Extra point try now. And we will have a different kicker. Here's the kick up, line drive kick. Looked pretty good from here, and it is good. And the kick made by Reed Cobb. Another freshman.
Another freshman, yeah, with a great first name.
All right, timeout on the field. Back in a minute. 55-0 West Plains on KDY.
Are you in the market for a new home in the West Plains area? Hi, my name is Michaela Jones with USA Mortgage. I have many years of real estate lending experience and want to help you find the right loan. So when you're ready to purchase that new home, find me on Facebook or in the Silver Springs Business Complex just off Bypass 63 in West Plains. We are USA Mortgage.
AS Acquisition Company, LLC, DBA USA Mortgage, NMLS 227262. Not a commitment to lend. Additional terms and conditions apply. Headquarter 12140 Woodcrest Executive Drive, Suite 150, St. Louis, Missouri. 63141. Toll free 888-250-6522.
If you're buying or selling real estate, you need an agent that'll dot all the I's and cross all the T's. At Century 21 Ozark Hills Realty, they take pride in their customer-focused approach to every situation. Century 21 has an office in every state with a global referral network that greatly expands your reach in the market. Century 21 has been voted the most respectable in the industry. Century 21 Ozark Hills Realty, 1822 Porter Wagner in West Plains. Don't settle for average.
West Plains football continues now on Hot Country KDY.
55-0. This one's been over for a long time. 5:42 and counting as the turbo clock is on. The kick will go past the receiver into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. So 1st and 10 from the 20 for the Hornets. And it's, really here especially here in the second half after Miller's 62-yard run to start the half, it's been primarily the underclassmen getting a shot at it here.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think we pulled our starters after that first drive, and it was the JV squad there for a little while, but I think on that last drive was a lot of freshmen.
And speaking of that, we get a timeout call with 5:22 to go. Back in a minute on KDY.
Summer is winding down, but you still need to stay on top of your game when it comes to the outdoors. Monty's Outdoors at the Southern Hills Shopping Center has game cameras. It's time to get pictures of those big bucks. Also, all kinds of great fishing tackle. And don't forget, camouflage and hunting boots. You'll find it all at Monty's Outdoors, where your next adventure starts.
Now it's more Zizzer football excitement on Hot Country KDY.
Well, on the first play from scrimmage for Hillcrest, Keyshawn Henderson had the defender burned on a long pass play down the left sideline, but a little contact right as the catch was being made, popped the ball out. It's 2nd down and 10.
Good recovery by number 3, Remy Wilson, that time to get to him right at the last second, but that was a beautifully thrown ball, and I thought that was going to be 6 for Hillcrest.
Very, very close to it. I said Keyshawn, Zaquan Henderson, the intended receiver. He's been an eye-opener tonight. Back to throw, look left, same thing. Throw it far as you can and see, and the ball is caught on a layout diving grab at the 41-yard line. That's a 39-yard gain and a first down for Hillcrest with 4:15 and counting.
Looks like number 78, freshman Shane Curtis has made it onto the field. Attaboy. I have Dawson Howell is, instead of playing fullback on offense, is playing linebacker on defense. Trying to see who else we have in here. 36, Haven Jacobs, sophomore wide receiver, defensive back.
Now the spread, they'll look right. They'll throw another long pass, wide open. It's incomplete. Ooh. Wow, that was 6 points, and that went right through the hands of Amari Clark down at the 5 as they had the Zizzer secondary burned again, but you got to catch it as the clock continues to move. So it's second down, 10 yards to go, 55-0. West Plains on top, and it'll be Hillcrest just trying to break the shutout. And now West Plains secondary, look at the drop they're taking now. No more of that. Now back to throw, looking left. Throws it. Seam pattern down the left sideline is tipped away and incomplete. Good defensive play that time for West Plains. And that was, let's say, 29 with a defense that time.
Luke Cropper.
Luke Cropper, who is another freshman.
Yeah.
55-0 with 2:32 and counting. Spread set, back to throw. Fires it over the middle. That ball is caught at the 28-yard line. Needed to get to the 31. That's a first down. Really well thrown ball that time by Cole Griesmeyer, who is lined up in the backfield. So that moves the chains, and we're down to 2 minutes to go. By the way, thanks to the Kiwanis Club, they fed me tonight over here.
Yeah, that was nice.
Had one of their very fine cheeseburgers. Roll to the right side this time. Now a throw off the back foot in the corner. Ball is incomplete. That should be maybe no interference.
They're going to rule that uncatchable.
Okay. I'm good with that.
That's also called let's go home.
Let's go home. Yep. 55-0 with 1:24 and counting. So if you're Hillcrest, you may as well just chuck it to the end zone another couple times if you have the opportunity and just try to get on the board.
Number 99, Jaron Young, the senior, checking into the game.
Heston Miller scored on a 3-yard run at 8:52 of the first quarter. Boy, it seems like a long time ago. Back to throw, slant over the middle, high and incomplete. Griesmeyer was the intended receiver.
That was a good-looking play, and he was open. Just couldn't quite haul it in.
Jude Cochran, 13 instead of 11 on the pass play that time. That was a really well-thrown ball, but not the result they wanted. So can we finish the shutout here? 30 seconds to play, and this may be the last play of the game. Back to throw it. Griesmeyer over the middle. Ball is tipped and incomplete. And that'll bring up fourth down, and yep, Hillcrest got to call timeout. Back in a minute on Hot Country KDY.
If you happen to be in an accident, keep this in mind. You have a choice in who tows your vehicle. So make the right choice and call 256-7628 for J&J Recovery and Towing of West Plains. They answer the calls 24/7. They will get to you fast and take your vehicle to the destination of your choosing. So if you're in a wreck, breakdown, or whatever reason you might need a tow, make the right choice and call J&J Recovery and Towing 256-7628.
Get a great deal on Kubota tractors at Edgelern Harbor Farm Equipment, like the L2501 package. Get a four-wheel drive Kubota L2501 with box blade, Kubota loader, and bush hog, 4.0 down, $306 per month with 2.49 APR for 84 months, now through 9/30/22. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more details.
Remember, we are two names you can trust, Edgelern Harper and Kubota, Mountain Grove and West Plains.
The Zizzers play here on today's Hot New Country KDY.
On fourth down, Hillcrest goes for it, a jump ball, and that is intercepted by West Plains at the 7-yard line, and the tackle made out of bounds. The ball was picked off by J.J. Self. Tell me he's a freshman.
No, he's a senior.
He's a senior.
Yeah,
How about
got some
that?
playing time and got a varsity interception. Attaboy, J.J.
And he'll have something to think about tonight. And that's the ball game as clock runs out. Final score 55-0. West Plains wins it. And we're back in a moment on KDY.
Did you know there's a place where you can get good neighbor service and surprisingly great rates on home and auto insurance? Yep, and that place is... ta-da! Justin Shelby State Farm. State Farm agent Justin Shelby is your go-to agent in Houston and West Plains for the service you deserve at the price you want. Call Justin Shelby State Farm for your surprisingly great rates today. Like a good neighbor, Justin Shelby State Farm is there. Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Get to Brown Furniture and Appliance in downtown West Plains. They're fully stocked with Ashley sectionals with many styles and colors to choose from. Do you need a freezer with deer season coming up? Grab an upright or chest type freezer in stock now. While you're there, pick out an entertainment center for a stylish place for your TV while you watch the big game. They start at only $479.99. Get 24 months no interest with approved credit. Brown Furniture and Appliance, growing with the Ozarks since 1949.
Hi, this is Taylor Grubauer with Taylor Grubauer Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC in West Plains. As we all know, new vehicles have been very hard to come by lately. But in West Plains, we have truckloads of new vehicles arriving daily. That's right, we have the most inventory here in stock that we've had all year long. Hurry in today before they are all gone.
Find new roads at Taylor Grubauer Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC in West Plains.
And get great buys from nice guys.
Taylor Grubauer Chevrolet in West Plains.
At West Plains Bank and Trust Company, we're making things easier. After September 18th, you can expect a new online banking experience that will make it easier to access your money. Account numbers, card numbers, and online banking usernames will stay the same. You'll choose a new password for online banking, but you'll keep the same password from now on. Visit westplainsbank.com for more information or call 417-256-2147 to hear about how we're making things easier for you at West Plains Bank and Trust Company. Member FDIC.
If you want to prove to your neighbors that you own land, you need a deed. But if you want to prove it to yourself, you need a tractor. That's why Coyote's made two all-new subcompact tractor models, the CS2220 and CS2520, feature drive-over mid-mount mower option and 22 25-horsepower Coyote diesel engines. They also come with available loader with quick attach bucket, standard, and available backhoe. Stop in and see my parents, Scott and Crystal Brown, today at Lunch Equipment. Coyote, we dig dirt.
For anything you need around the office, think Bureau. Office furniture? Think Bureau. Pens, paper, forms? Think Bureau. Cleaning and janitorial supplies? Think Bureau. Need supplies but you don't have time to get it? Think Bureau. They deliver. So for anything you need for the office, think Bureau. Stop by and see them just off the square in West Plains or online at thinkbureau.com. Bureau, 202 West Main in West Plains.
Ozark Conference football excitement continues now with the Zizzers on KDY.
Okay, and as we get ready to wrap it up here tonight, the final score is 55-0. Sometimes when you play teams that aren't that strong, it's hard to look very good sometimes. Outside of a few penalties, I thought that West Plains really played pretty sharp tonight.
Yeah, we showed up and we did what we had to do, but we also didn't have to get very deep into our playbook. So that sets us up for the coming weeks. We showed a few things that obviously those teams are going to have to game plan for, but since we didn't get deep into our playbook, we're going to have a couple surprises for them, I'm sure.
Next week, boy, it really gets interesting starting next week.
Mm-hmm.
Reed and I will come back and take a look a little bit ahead here in just a little bit. Final again, 55-0 Zizzers, and we're back in a moment on KDY.
If you own one truck to a fleet of trucks, TLG Peterbilt understands that when you have one broke down, it's more than lost time. Here at TLG Peterbilt, uptime all the time means we have the right parts for all models of trucks and trailers to get your truck back on the road and your drivers home for the game. Hey, this is Damon with TLG Peterbilt in Willow Springs. We proudly support our West Plains Zizzers. Visit us at tlgtrucks.com or on Highway 60 in Willow Springs.
The team at Ozarks Healthcare Orthopedic and Spine is focused on your athlete's health. That's why they are on the sidelines cheering you on and ready to step in should anything happen. Dr. Edwin Roeder is proud to be the Zizzer team physician. The Ozarks Healthcare team sends best wishes to all athletes for safe play and great sportsmanship. For more information about the OZH Orthopedic and Spine, please visit www.ozarkshealthcare.com.
Tyler Tyler Farr is coming to Riverfront State Park in Van Buren Saturday, October 8th. Gates open at 4, first act begins at 7. Come see one of the bright new stars in country, Tyler Farr, at Van Buren's Riverfront State Park, October 8th. Go to eventbrite.com for tickets. And for refreshment, Pepsi Mid-America has the perfect solution, 7-Up. The clean, refreshing taste of 7-Up is perfect for any occasion. Want the day to go better? Have a 7-Up from Pepsi Mid-America.
Hi, Zizzer fans. It's the Long Brothers again.
Do you know what we love most about Zizzers football?
Cheerleaders?
Popcorn? Goodbye! Sure. We also love that it brings the community together to celebrate one thing we can all agree on, the love of our town.
So thank you, West Plains athletes, parents, fans, teachers, and coaches.
Thank you for your continued support of Long Electric.
Long Electric, 293-6884.
When it's time for new tires, Don's Auto Service in West Plains needs to be your first stop. Right now, you can get up to $75 back plus an added bonus of up to $75 more when you use the Goodyear credit card. Rebates paid by Goodyear Visa prepaid card on purchases made now through September 30th, 2022. Stop in or give them a call today.
More than just a tire store. Don's Auto Service.
Stuart Morrison Ready Mix has been serving the Ozarks for over 3 decades. Think about that. And takes great pride in producing quality concrete, offering competitive prices. Stuart Morrison Ready Mix is ready to help you with all your residential, commercial, or agriculture concrete and rock needs. Give them a call today, 256-8171. Stuart Morrison Ready Mix, where you get concrete results every time.
The team at Ozarks Healthcare Orthopedic and Spine is focused on your athlete's health. That's why they are on the sidelines cheering you on and ready to step in should anything happen. Dr. Edwin Roeder is proud to be the Zizzer team physician. The Ozarks Healthcare team sends best wishes to all athletes for safe play and great sportsmanship. For more information about the OZH Orthopedic and Spine, please visit www.ozarkshealthcare.com.
Are you in the market for a new home here in Southern Missouri? Hi, this is Michaela Jones with USA Mortgage. I have over 20 years experience in real estate lending and can help guide you through the process. When you're ready for a loan, find me on Facebook or in the Silver Springs Business Complex, just off Bypass 63 in West Plains. We are USA Mortgage.
AS Acquisition Company, LLC, DBA USA Mortgage, NMLS 227262. Not agreement to lend. Additional terms and conditions apply. Headquarter 12140 Woodcrest Executive Drive, Suite 150, St. Louis, Missouri. 63141. Toll free 888-250-6522.
Hi, Zizzer fans. It's the Long Brothers again.
Do you know what we love most about Zizzers football?
Cheerleaders?
Popcorn? Goodbye! Sure. We also love that it brings the community together to celebrate one thing we can all agree on, the love of our town.
So thank you, West Plains athletes, parents, fans, teachers, and coaches.
Thank you for your continued support of Long Electric.
Long Electric, 293-6884.
Hello, my name is Hazel Patel. My husband and I purchased a home through Assurance Realty with Angie Worley as our real estate agent. We were very happy with the process from start till the end. We have been very happy with her services.
Hi, this is Angie Worley with Assurance Realty. If you have property to sell in either Missouri or Arkansas, we are the brokerage for you. Call 417-372-5420 and ask how we can help prepare your home for a smooth transaction. And remember, at Assurance Realty, it's all about you.
If you're buying or selling real estate, you need an agent that'll dot all the I's and cross all the T's. At Century 21 Ozark Hills Realty, they take pride in their customer-focused approach to every situation. Century 21 has an office in every state with a global referral network that greatly expands your reach in the market. Century 21 has been voted the most respectable in the industry. Century 21 Ozark Hills Realty, 1822 Porter Wagner in West Plains. Don't settle for average.
It's back to the field for more Zizzer football action on Hot Country KDY.
Thought the Zizzers played pretty well tonight. They obviously played pretty well last week. 55-0 the final here tonight. But now, in spite of that, it's going to be necessary to raise their game a little bit here as they go into this stretch of 4 games next week on the road at Rolla. We've seen them play pretty well on the road already this year, but they're going to have to raise their game a little bit to a different level if they're going to, get through this next 4 weeks and put themselves in a position maybe to win the conference again this year.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. This is a tough 4 weeks right in front of us. Rolla is obviously talented. Going to Camden coming here, which is huge. Then on the road to Kickapoo, and then Lebanon here. We're going to have to be on top of our game, and we're going to have to clean up some of these small mistakes that we made. Not as many tonight, but we're going to have to clean up those reoccurring mistakes, and we're going to play really, really good defense, which I think we're capable of doing.
So we'll look forward to that road game next week. And remember, we got Camden coming up in 2 weeks. Is that correct?
It's 2 weeks, yes.
Yep. And mark that on your calendar. And Reed makes a great point. We need as many Zizzer faithfuls as we can get out here to make a bunch of noise, because I guarantee you Camden will bring just about an entire bleachers full of support on the far side of the field.
Camden travels well. They always bring a bus that has loudspeakers, and it's a very, very cool high school football environment anytime we play Camden, either here or there. It's a good road trip if you ever want to go on a road trip to Camden and watch a football game, but it's always a good game. They've only beaten us once in the last 7 or 8 years, but we have this target on our back, and we know it, and they are a very, very good ball club, and it's going to be tough to get past them.
We get to see the Hall of Famer Bob Shore from Camden when they come down here in a couple of weeks. That's always something to look forward to. So your final again is 55-0. Thanks to Reed. Thanks to Big Jim across the way providing the video of the contest tonight. To Nate Hudson in the studio. I'm Harlan Hutchison, looking forward to joining Paul Knight again next Friday in Rolla when the Bulldogs will take on the Zizzers. Till then, final again, 55-0 as